Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney, and the infamous Coach Russell is with us. And we are here. It is week 3. Is it week 3 already?
It is week 3.
That's really hard to believe. Week 3 of the high school football season. And we're here to talk to Coach Russell and get some stuff from him, just information wise. He's very kind to sit down with us, and so we have some questions we're going to go through and just kind of discuss a little bit of last week's game, a little bit of the things coming up this week for the matchup this week on Friday night. And so we're just going to dive into that. And Coach Russell, thank you again for your time.
Sure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so just kind of want to really jump up about last week's game, Thursday night game, a hard-fought game. Guys played well. I think disappointing from a fan standpoint to lose right there at the end like that. But what did that game and the fight you saw from your players teach you about this team?
Well, it really affirmed what what we kind of see from this team every day. I've told this team from the beginning, first couple of weeks, even during the scrimmages, there's something special about this team. And from the outside looking in, when you're looking at a roster, looking at who's coming back and who's, that sort of thing as far as players, and you say, hey, this team is young or this team is inexperienced or whatever, whatever thoughts there may be from the, prognosticators or whatever about the game, about the team. There's something special. There's just a brotherhood about this team. They want to play really hard for each other, hard for the community, and they practice hard. They do everything hard, and they really care for each other. And if you talk to any of them, they'll answer a question about themselves, but they have questions about other people. Coach, how's so and so doing? How's so and so doing? And I think that just shows what kind of heart that they have. And then it was on full display Thursday night. We had injuries during the game. We had sicknesses during the week. A lot of sicknesses, way more than I've ever been associated with. And it just seemed like there was, so many physicians and so many different things looking at, there's so many things going on the sidelines with injuries and kids coming out for plays and all that stuff. But none of that fazed the kids. They just kept playing hard and playing extremely well against an opponent that's experienced and, as we said last week, 2-time defending state champion. They were, picked to beat us fairly soundly, but not by anybody in our dressing room. We fully expected to win the game, and if we played it again, I think we would win the game. And it was a good game, but it just reinforced what I really feel about these guys. These guys are special, and our best football is ahead of us. We've seen some good football already, but our best football is definitely ahead of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That game Thursday night was a lot of fun to for one, broadcast, but it was a lot of fun to be a fan. And one question I have, we obviously know the caliber of team that came in Thursday night. Was that something that was intentional as far as just the level of opponent early in the season like that?
Yes, the coach and I, whenever you schedule games, like right now, I'm trying to schedule games for the next 2 years realignment, because this is a realignment year, and behind the scenes, coaches are talking and whatnot, and behind the scenes, last realignment, the coach and I were talking about it, about scheduling this game and what a good matchup that it would be, and we want to, we want to play at that level. We want to play that way, and we try to schedule. We got a big game at Pittsburg this week. They're a high level, very highly athletic team also, and you want to play the best, because I think that the better people you play, it causes you to raise your level of play to a certain extent. Because if you don't, you'll get blown out. But yes, it was intentional, to be able to play them, because we don't have to play them. We make out our own non-district schedule. Now, the better your season goes, the harder it is to get other people to play you, because
Right.
they don't necessarily want to play a for sure loss. So it gets difficult. But he and I, we've also agreed to possibly play the next 2 realignments, because it's a good game for us. It's a good game for them, and it was intentional to play somebody as good as we can, and that's why we scrimmaged Jefferson and play people that we know that are really really good, and see how good that we can be,
Yeah,
and it showed up Thursday night.
sure. Well, you mentioned Jefferson. My understanding is that Jefferson is picked to win state. Is that correct, or at least make it to state?
Some people had picked them.
Yeah.
They started out the year in the top five, and they've been several people. I haven't been keeping up with them or anything, but they very very talented coming off last year, and the kids they had returning that they were picked to do extremely well. Some people have had them picked at that level to win state, and
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh coming up this week, they're we'll get into them later on, but they're definitely we're going to have to raise our game up a lot against them because they're extremely talented and good team too. So there are no breaks on our schedule. I can tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the game last Thursday night with Dallas First Baptist, obviously what he mentioned has a close game, closer than a lot of people thought it would be outside of this room and outside of this building. But you come away with a 42-35 loss. What are you focusing on this week in practice to maybe make corrections or improve after that game?
Well, one of the first things we do, regardless of who we play, you grade and critique the film and look and make sure that you had a good game plan and executing and how well the kids responded to different things and every week tells you a different story about a different kid and about because every opponent's different and what we did is we looked at it and we've moved some kids around in some different spots and done a few different things to maybe help them to be able to excel and your goal always is to be better the next week and you want to be playing your best football at the end of the season and we took a giant step and my focus on the team is now that game is done. It's about getting better today.
Right.
It's about Pittsburgh because that's who we're playing and as we put in the game plan, but it's more about us being able to get fundamentally better. And that's really where we try not to get too far ahead because you said well I go wow it's week 3 it's we're coming up on week 3, and that's after having 2 scrimmages. We're through with August. We're getting in the middle of September, and time flies. And football season is such an intense time, and I want the kids to enjoy each and every day. And I think they came off the practice field today enjoying practice, and that's what we want to enjoy being able to be there and get better. And that's our goal is to get better. And I have this saying that I like to tell the kids is it's not just about winning the game, but it's more about deserving to win the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes teams win games that they don't really deserve it, but you want to deserve it. And I felt like we deserved to win that game. We just didn't do it. But we took all the steps necessary to get that done. And now the next step is to go ahead and push through and win those type games.
Absolutely. And with Pittsburgh coming up this week, you mentioned having to raise our game. What kind of challenges does Pittsburgh bring when they come in here Friday night, as opposed to kind of what you've seen so far?
Well, they are a mixture of a lot of things that we've seen. They have a new coaching staff. I'm very familiar with their coaches, very familiar with their schemes. The offensive coordinator played quarterback for me at Harmony, and he's running a lot of stuff that I know very well offensively, and then defensively they're running Gilmer stuff that I coached there in 2009, and so we're familiar with a lot of those things and a lot of their coaches, and they were already extremely talented, and now they're extremely sound in what they do, and you have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves, and that could be said for us too. I think we had. The only turnover we had really was the onside kick or whatnot, but we didn't turn the ball over last week. And if you don't turn the ball over and you limit your penalties, your self-inflicted penalties, you have a chance to win. And that's what we're going to see with Pittsburgh. They've shown so far in their games and their scrimmages to be very disciplined, being in the right spots, doing the right things, not being tricked and all that sort of stuff. And so it's going to be a really good smash mouth football game. They're a spread team that likes to run the ball at you, And so, we can, as y'all have seen, we can throw it, we can run it, and if you uh, put too many in the box, we'll throw it, and if you spread them out, we'll run it, and we can do a little bit of both. And they're very similar to us in that regard. They're just a little bit bigger school, than we. Well, they're a lot bigger school than we are, but we beat them last year at their place and late in the game, and so they have that, kind of the revenge factor. But I'm hoping they forget about that. But it was a great game last year. Very, very physical. I anticipate another very physical game, and it's going to be another game that we're playing to win every game. Every game is important, but most of all we want to improve. We want to continue to improve, and if today was any indication, we will continue to improve.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. So, we talk about Pittsburgh coming in here. It's your second home game in a row. How important do you feel is just for morale of students to bounce back and get that win in front of the home crowd this week?
Oh, I think you'd be great. We have a great home field advantage.
Yeah.
Our students really get excited. And our community gets excited, and they love to come out and as much as anything, our kids. I won't say feel pressure, but they feel a sense of urgency to give the fans some joy, and that's one of the things that makes this team special. Is they want to win because you like to win whether you're playing checkers or not. But one thing about playing checkers is usually you're the only one that feels the joy of winning. But when you win a football game, you bring joy to to the alumni, you bring joy to the administration, you bring joy to the students, you bring joy to your teammates and your families, and our kids understand that. And you can to a certain extent that's the way it is in every sport, but I think more so in football because it just brings everybody together.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that we at least winning a game, it cures all ills. Usually, if you have a shoulder problem or you have whatever problem, if you win the game, it doesn't hurt as bad. You lose
Right.
the game, that knee hurts worse than it hurt, than if you lost. And everything hurts worse when you lose, and everything feels a lot better when you win. So we're hoping to get the win and make everybody feel better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've talked before about just having a lot of young players in varsity. We got a freshman quarterback. It was a freshman, I believe, had an interception in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Having a young team and, not as much veterans to lean on, it's one thing to have a roster full of seniors. How is it watching them progress from summer to the first game? And what are you seeing from some of the younger players as far as either grasping the system or just kind of figuring out their role on the team and being able to contribute in a high way?
Well, I really am. I'm truly amazed. I've been coaching a long time, and I've seen a lot of young kids that maybe had the athletic ability to play on the varsity level, but they just weren't quite there mentally because it's a big step from the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Or you have some kids that you have to kind of force them to play varsity because you had depth issues on the varsity, and so maybe they could handle it mentally, but they weren't ready physically. But this group is very unique in the fact that we have a lot of kids that are ready both physically and mentally, and that they don't come into the game thinking that hey, I'm a freshman on the varsity or whatever. They understand their role and what their roles are, and I've never been around a group that is so mature for not just for their age. I mean, they'd be mature for seniors and they're freshmen, and they do some special things. They study hard. They understand the seriousness of football. I mean, the guy that Luke Burks got the interception in the end zone. That receiver, I think he's going to LSU. That he, got the interception in front of him. I mean, he covered him, all the way down the field. And you figure that guy's a senior graduating in December, and he's going to be, going to college when, when Luke can't drive. I mean, like
Yeah.
anything. And,
That's perspective.
Yeah.
But looking at this team, it's just it is a true joy to watch them grow. If I had to say that one of my favorite things about coaching is to watch a kid grow, watch him be able to understand what we're coaching them to do, and then being able to take that coaching to the field and do it live. It's one thing to do it even in practice, but we like to say, how are you going to react when the bullets start flying?
Right.
It's like when you go to war and you're you're training to go to war. That's one thing, but when bullets are flying, I used to see that old commercial. Then they had that commercial where they had the big sandstorm, this big fight, off in the distance, and they kept showing that. Finally, they showed there were the Army Rangers or whatever, and they're running towards the battle. Do you run towards the battle? And we got a bunch of freshmen that they don't shy from the battle.
Yeah.
They're running into the battle. They don't back down from the bullets flying, and that's special. That's
cool.
And we understand how special that is, especially the coaches that have experience. We understand that that's special. That's not natural. That's not the natural progression. They have jumped ahead of the progression, and that's one of the things that's going to help continue to make us the best we can be, because as they get more snaps under their belt and as they see and understand not just what we're doing but the whole game and where they fit into it, we'll get better and better and better. And I'm just so excited to see how good they can be, because there is no ceiling. Of course, I personally don't necessarily like to talk about Hillary Clinton, but at one time they had that glass ceiling. She thought she was going to break when Clinton won, that glass ceiling. And I don't know that our freshmen, they look up and there's a glass ceiling and they're going to break through, because I don't know where their talent and their mental capabilities, I don't know how high it can be. But they're growing and getting better every day, and they really are special.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. That's all. I'm ready to put a helmet on. I mean, let's just, you got one for me, Coach? So,
I think we need a bigger medical staff if we're going to do that.
That's the truth. My goodness. I pulled a hamstring just talking about putting a helmet on. So Coach, we'll wrap it up with this. I want to, first of all, mention, you talked about the home field advantage and the students. And you know what? I saw something Thursday night last week that was really cool. It was not just the student section, which is amazing. Not just the drum line, which is awesome. The Cougarettes, the cheerleaders, all that, which is phenomenal. They're all great. They're wonderful at what they do. But I saw something. We're up there in the broadcast booth, and we've got the windows open, get some breeze going through there. And all of a sudden, I heard this voice just rise above everything and start chanting. And I kind of leaned up and I looked down, and it was an adult. I don't even know who it was, but there was a man on about maybe the fourth row of those bleachers down there, and he had stood up and turned around to everybody else in the bleachers and was leading in a chant. And the people responded. They didn't just sit there and look at him. They responded. They rose to their feet. They started, and it got loud. And it's just a really, really cool thing. And home field advantage, to me, I think it does matter. And I love it when a home crowd knows how to impact a game and make the other team uncomfortable. I think that's wonderful. But we'll wrap it up with this, Coach. Just a couple of things I want you to touch on. One is, what would you say to those Grace Cougar fans that are getting ready to fill those stands on Friday night? And then what are the keys? What would you consider the keys to victory Friday night?
I can speak on behalf of the team they're just so thrilled that we did have such a good backing from the fans, and they hear it and they feel it, and it does help them to take their game to the next level. I would like to. I'd be less than honest if I hear it as much, because I don't hear it as a coach, hear it as much. Right. But after the game and in certain moments, I know that the players hear it and they feel it and they see it, and it means so much. And it does mean so much to us too as coaches. It's just at the time, we kind of involved in, but it really means a lot. And I hear the kids talking to themselves in private moments when they don't have to about, man, did you see, how much they really were into it, and stuff. And so you can feel that. That's not fake. Like you said, he stood up and got everybody to cheer. That's not a natural thing for an adult to A, stand up and lead cheers, and B, have other adults stand up and do that. But that shows a commitment, like I said before, that a lot of people understand what these kids are doing to sacrifice and work hard and do it, and they feel connected to the team. Yeah. Consequently, the team feels connected to them. And to do something special, you've got to have that. Whatever that may be, our moms, decorated lockers and helmets and involved in the treats. The dads. Everybody's just so supportive. Even though we lost the game last week, it's still that they understand where we're at. They understand that we were that close to winning the game, and they're very very knowledgeable in being able to give that type of cheering and that level of commitment to go out there and just sit there and really cheer for the guys. The guys feel it. They know it. And you never know when that can be the difference in making a play. But it's because they were able to get some extra juice, some extra adrenaline, because they do hear that and feel that. And so this week, you ask about the keys of the game. I do think that could be one of the keys. I think the intensity with which the crowd can, uh, pick the moments and whatnot, because I know it's hard for a whole game to do that because it's not Kyle Field or anything like that. But it is. To those kids, it is Kyle Field. It is something special, and I think this week, last week. I didn't mean to be prophetic, but I said something about I think it's going to come down to a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and it happened to be that way. I also think this is going to be one of those games. It's going to come down to who has it in the fourth quarter, and they beat us this past week in the fourth quarter. They made the plays. We didn't get the first downs. We did not make the plays in the fourth quarter. We made the plays through three quarters,
Right.
all the way up to the end of the third quarter, but we didn't finish the deal. And I think for us to be able to finish the deal is going to take that the 12th man. It's going to take the guy in the stands. It's going to take that little bit of extra so we can finish this one off. And I look forward to having the competition in Pittsburgh, and it's going to take that. And you asked me about, again, what we need to do. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to get more guys healthy. We need and we are developing more depth in certain spots, and God doesn't make mistakes. And there's a reason why you have some guys get sick, some guys get hurt. It forces you to put guys in positions that you might not have otherwise done, and then you hope and you get to watch that guy raise his game.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now you have developed depth that you wouldn't have done if you hadn't had to. And so I'm anxious to see this week those new guys that have moved into certain spots. I'm anxious to see how well that they raise their game, and then I'm also anxious to see how well our crowd comes and really encourages the guys.
Yeah, I love it. You talk about that connection again with just the crowd and the players. There was one play in particular. It was a third or fourth down when Dallas had the ball, third or fourth down, and it was a big moment. And I was just observing everything on the sideline as we were commentating on the moment, and I believe it was Deacon. He's on the sideline, one of the players. And he all of a sudden he turns around to the crowd and he just throws his arm like that. And just like that, the crowd responded. And so just that connection, I think that's so cool. And you mentioned Kyle Field, and I wish you would have said DKR. But we can talk about that more later. But listen, hey, Cougar fans, whether for you it would be your hope for Kyle Field, DKR, Death Valley, the Horseshoe, whatever it is, we don't care. Make our stadium that stadium
Absolutely.
for you. That's what we want. So Friday night, listen, we carry this broadcast, and we love seeing the viewers on the broadcast. We love seeing that number climb during the game, but what we love even more is to see people in the stands making some noise. And so that's what we want to see Friday night at Clyde Perkins Stadium. We want that place packed out. We want to be making some noise, and let's cheer on the Cougars to a victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Coach, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney. And until Friday night from Clyde Perkins Stadium, so long, everybody.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Grace Game Day. It is a semi-beautiful Friday night. Had a little rain come through just a little bit ago, just enough to make everything nice and humid. And so we are still looking for another kickoff temperature like we had in the first week against Queen City. We have not achieved that yet. I'm Preston Proctor here on Grace Game Day, and Josh McElhaney, who is normally with me, is sick tonight, and so sharing is not always caring. So I wanted to make sure that he did not come and spread the good news and the wealth and all that fun stuff. And so with me tonight is Chris Phillips, no stranger to Grace Athletics. And Chris, thank you for joining me tonight.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me, Preston. Appreciate it. It's that time of year where everybody in East Texas is ready for fall weather on a Friday night. For it to be a little bit more crisp than it is. Like you said, it's pretty humid out there tonight, but still a beautiful night for some football.
Yes, it is. It could be worse. It could absolutely be worse.
Good place to be on a Friday night.
So we are just a couple of minutes away from kickoff tonight, and it is Grace playing host to the Pittsburg Pirates. And we're going to pause for a moment here. We're fixing to get ready for the prayer and then the national anthem, and then we will be getting ready to move on from there. But first, I believe Grace is fixing to enter the field.
Fun tradition down there with all the moms that get together with their kids before they come through the huddle. Been doing that for years here at Grace. Good to see.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Drum line in full force there on the track.
Award-winning drum line.
Yes. And here they come, your Grace Cougars.
Cougars in their home blue uniforms tonight. Pittsburg in their white with gold, black and gold trim. Both teams looking sharp.
As the Cougars' tradition is to run the length of the field to the other end zone, kneel for a moment of prayer, and then make their way to the sideline. And that means one thing. We are just about ready for some Friday night football.
Yeah, me and you'd be catching our breath after that 100-yard jaunt they take there, Preston. But these kids ain't not too worried about it. We'd be limping back. But
yeah, they're not worried about it at all.
They're not worried about it.
Oh, the days.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel more and more like that scripture, Chris, in the Bible that says, I once was young, but now I'm old.
This is a fact. This is a fact. It seems like every day the spirit continues to be willing, but the body does not always go along with it.
No, sir. No, sir.
Good to see everybody starting to pile in. There's been a nice little crowd here for the Grace side, but people continue to come in. Pittsburg has a few people here, too, about filled up their side.
And so now we're going to pause for a moment for prayer prior to the game.
Almighty God, we are so grateful that we have a chance to be here. We thank you that in the midst of a broken world, we still have hope in you. And we come together because of that hope, and we can enjoy something like the great game of football and being together with friends. Pray that you would bless both of these schools. Pray for our friends from Pittsburg that you would bless their school and their city community. Pray that you would bless all the students that take part in tonight, whether from the stands, on the sidelines, or performing at halftime. Please protect these athletes on the field, dear God. Give them safety. I pray that you'd allow them to use the skills that you've given them and compete mightily. Thank you also for the coaches and the way they pour into our student athletes. Ask that everything we do tonight will bring you honor and glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Please remain standing and face the United States flag at the north end of the stadium as we honor our nation and the men and women who serve and who have served with the presentation of our national anthem. The Star Spangled Banner is presented tonight by the GCS Cougar Chorale.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem, courtesy of the Grace Community Chorale.
Always nice to hear them. They do quite a few games. They may do every game. They definitely do a handful of games all year, and they always do a great job. Bunch of talented kids.
Yes, they are. As they are now approaching midfield, getting ready for the coin toss. Your captains tonight for the Cougars, Doak Porter, a senior, Justice McQuay, also a senior. And then we have Cole Stanley, a senior. We have Braden Wells, a senior. And then we also have Ale Hecht, a senior. And they are exchanging pleasantries at midfield.
Yeah, a bunch of good kids. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I missed one of them. I knew I was missing one. Elijah Hicks. I had to turn around and see the jersey again. Elijah Hicks, also a senior out there as a captain.
Il Hecht with that leg injury there. He had an older brother that was a really good football player here. We need him back. A really good, aggressive football player there, number 25. It looks like we won the toss, and we're going to defer, and Pittsburgh will be taking the opening kickoff.
I'll take it. Chris, I always love, of course, in my vast football coaching experience, which is relegated to video games, but I always love to kick to start the game and get the ball to start the second half.
Yep, you know what? It seems to be the trend with a lot of really good teams over the years, especially the last handful of years, that do that exact same thing. Coaches preach about that last possession, the first half, first possession, the second half being such key components of the game, and so you see more and more better teams doing just that.
Yes, sir. And I see Josh commenting in the chat there. Let's go Cougars. Josh, we do miss you tonight, and hope you and your family get well soon.
Josh, they had to go way down to the end of the bench to find me, man, so we look forward to having you back soon.
Oh, man, I only made a couple of phone calls and found Chris. I reached out to Danny. I said, Danny, can you help me out? He said, man, I'm not available. I said, do you know anybody? He said, Chris Phillips is the best one I've ever worked with.
Oh, well, that was super sweet.
Please give me his number.
That was sweet. We had some good times up here over the years. You know, he's got a handful of kiddos that have come through Grace. One's still here. Two that have already gone. My oldest is gone, and so their entire time growing up through junior high and high school, we did this together up here and had a really nice time doing it. So I appreciate you calling.
Yes, sir.
Glad to help.
Appreciate you for filling in for sure. And the Cougars are now getting lined up to kick. Josiah King, the junior, is the kicker. And we're just about set to get going. This kickoff brought to you by Harley's. Harley's Menswear, located next to Dakota Steakhouse. Proud sponsor of the Grace Cougars.
These King boys can kick. Josiah's, they're going to onside it to start.
That's a quick kick. And Grace was so close to getting it. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to get it about the 44, 45-yard line.
Boy, they got up to the line quick and did that, didn't they? Trying to catch them off guard, I think, Preston. But and they almost had a couple opportunities at it, but someone up there on that front line at the 45 grabbed it for the Pirates.
Yeah, Chris, it looked like it kind of spun around on the chest of one of the Cougars as they were rushing through the pile there.
It did.
But, man, almost some trickery that paid off right there at the beginning. But the Pirates will start with great field position at their own 45-yard line.
See if we can get a good defensive stand here to start the game. I like throwing in a little wrinkle there by Coach Russell to start the game.
And that's going to be no gain on the play there. Andrew Gardner in on the stop for Grace.
Yeah, he had a handful of guys right there meet him right at the line of scrimmage as he tried to get out to the right side there, but stopped him for no gain.
So bring up 2nd and 10. Pittsburgh goes into kind of a traditional huddle. Then they approach the line. They're in a shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. Shotgun snap, and he's going to look deep down the right sideline. Got a man, and it's just through his hands, incomplete. That was Stiles that was running open down the sideline.
Yeah, Christian Henry was down there running with him, but it was one-on-one coverage, and they decided to take a shot downfield early to try to expose that single-man coverage, and just overthrew it a little bit. But a good stand by the Cougars just right out of the gates. We got, looking at 3rd and long right on the first possession, get off the field real quick and get a little confidence from that stop.
3rd and 10. Here's the snap. It's going to be a play-action fake, quick screen, and he stumbled, it looked like.
Yeah, the play was going to be there. I don't know how much, if it would have gone for anything. But number 4 out there, 7 Duffy, just tripped up a little bit as he tried to make that play. And so we've got him punting first possession.
Nice defensive stand. Chris, looking back at the last couple of games for Pittsburgh, they have shown the tendency to put some points on the board. And so glad to see the Cougars with a 3-and-out to start the game. Good snap, and it's a line drive, end-over-end kick. Going to bounce inside the 25, and a nice Pittsburgh roll all the way down to the 17-yard line.
I got 12 to 15 yards of roll off of what really wasn't a very pretty punt, but just happened to fall end over end and take that bounce, and there's nothing Doak Porter can do. He's not going to go try to field that punt. You just got to let it roll out, and like you said, ends up at about the 17-yard line.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it appeared, Chris, he seemed like he took that snap in his gut. Didn't catch it with his hands.
No.
He cradled it.
No, he did not. We might watch that for later. Maybe we can catch him on those special teams not being real sharp and get a big play on our end. So we'll see. Good to see the Cougars coming out on offense.
So they come out in the gun with Etheridge leading the offense here. McQuay going in motion. Etheridge is going to keep it. And it's got positive yardage.
That's one thing I've noticed. Slade's a freshman, but he's not afraid to get in there and lower his head and take off running with the football. And you want that kind of toughness in your quarterback. Of course, as a coach, you want to protect him a little bit, but it's nice to see that he's fearless in terms of getting upfield.
BA into the game, and they're going to immediately give it to him, coming across the 20. Got a room across the 30, and that's going to be an all-state first down to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, real nice run there. I always like to see 46 with the ball running downhill, and I would not want to be anyone opposed to that. He's kind of limping off. Looks like he's banged up on his left leg there, Preston.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. He's one of those guys you'd absolutely make a business decision if I'm the one out there trying to tackle him.
Yeah.
High snap. Etheridge pulls it down, and that's going to be a drop for a loss.
Yeah, good tackle by Will Strube there in the backfield. He read that from the get and came over from that other linebacker side and made a great play behind line of scrimmage.
Clock dips under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter as Pittsburgh went 3-and-out. Grace on their first possession of the game, facing a 2nd and 12. Etheridge is going to look to the sideline.
Almost got him to jump there.
Looked like he was trying to do that Aaron Rodgers hard count there. McQuay remains in the backfield. Etheridge looking his way. McQuay on a screen out of the backfield across the 35 and hard nose across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, good play there. Good job by Cole Stanley out there, wide receiver. When you got wide receivers that are willing to block for guys coming out of the backfield and taking screens and stuff like that, you always love to see that as a teammate.
And, Cole Stanley is not a small young man.
No, not small, and he's not slow either.
He's a grown man frame, that's for sure. Brings up 3rd and short for the Cougars. So far in this first drive, been very deliberate, taking their time. Kind of a high snap again, and McQuay gets dropped immediately.
Man, what a play. That's Amari Grant who came in there from the D-line and made a play behind the line of scrimmage again on 3rd and short, which puts us in about a 4th and 3 here. And looks like we're talking about it, but I think we're going to opt to punt the ball away, which is probably smart.
Yeah, with the defensive stand we had in that first drive, you don't want to just give them an unnecessarily short field.
Yeah, agree. Trying to find BA. He looks like he's still sitting on the bench down here talking to a trainer. He was up on the front of the sideline like he wanted to get back in there, but now he was back sitting down.
Low snap. Stanley digs it out.
See if we can get that same bounce they got. No, ours kind of.
Nope.
No.
It bounced straight up in the air and then bounced sideways. We did get 2 yards out of it. There we go.
I'm not sure what number 18 Braden Lafayette's doing flying in there for Pittsburgh. I mean, when those punts are like that and your punt return guy is not fielding it, you don't have any business fiddling around near the football.
No,
just get out of there.
Stay away from it.
I mean, I love seeing it as a Cougar, but I mean, that ball comes in, you don't see it, it hits you, and all of a sudden you got a big change of possession, change of field because of an error on special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Pittsburgh's offense returning to the field.
There's 8:03 remaining in the first quarter.
Each team's had a possession. Each team has punted it to the other. So we'll see what goes from here.
Johnson goes under center this time. Handoff out of the I formation. And a little bit of room as he makes his way across the 30.
Yeah, that's Lane Hall in there. He's going to be their main running back throughout the night. Preston, I mean, these guys have a little bit of size to them. They've got to in that district they're in. I mean, they've got some tough competition in that District 4A with Van and Pleasant Grove and some of those guys.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove is no slouch.
No.
Pleasant Grove really put a beat down on Dangerfield last night, as that was a backwards pass and nice move in the backfield. That's going to be right at first down yardage.
Yeah, looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. Doak Porter was in there, but the receiver there, I didn't see the number on the kid that caught the ball. But really good move back there behind the line of scrimmage to spring it for a first down.
I believe that was 7 Duffy, number 4.
Okay. Yeah, called his name a couple times already.
So 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Pittsburgh will now come out in the gun. Shotgun snap to Johnson. He's looking to the far sideline, pressured, gets away from it. He's going to have to tuck the ball and run, and he's got positive yardage across the 50. First down yardage into Cougar territory.
Yeah, really good run there. I mean, we had great pressure on him. Elijah Hicks was in there early. But when you've got a full head of steam and the quarterback's just got to make one move, it's kind of like on a punt when you're way down there early on punt coverage, and the guy's just got to make one move to dodge you, and that's what Cord Johnson was able to do and sprung it for a long run. So a couple first downs already on this drive for the Pirates.
Shotgun snap's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's got room, runs over a Cougar, but Stanley doesn't let go of him, pulls him down.
Yeah.
It's about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. That's a good hit and a good run.
That was Lane Hall.
That's what I thought. Yeah, number 6 there.
For the Pirates. So they gave him 9, Chris, so it comes out 2nd and 1. Line of scrimmage is the 34. It's going to be a handoff to Hall again. He's got a first down and more across the 30.
Yeah, they're going to use him a lot tonight, obviously. Brought down there by Dylan Stinson. Good tackle. But another Pirate first down, third one of this drive. They seem to have a little bit of rhythm running the ball on this drive. So as they near the East Texas Nutrition red zone, we're going to have to bear down a little bit here on defense.
Shotgun snap, and this is going to be a handoff again. They're keeping it on the ground, and it's working, bouncing outside, inside the 10, and finally drugged down inside the 5 by Vadreen.
Golly, what a great run. That's Kayvon Grant. We hadn't seen him yet. We've seen a few guys run the ball. It's Kayvon Grant's first time to run the ball, and he was breaking tackles left and right and almost scores.
Yeah, that was a really tough run. I'll just be honest, I thought they had him down at one point, but they did not. They're going to keep it on the ground up the middle, churning toward the end zone. And there's the signal.
Yeah, that's Lane Hall fighting there on the goal line with a little push from the O-line. Like to see those guys getting in there, helping their teammate try to cross the goal line, and that's exactly what Johnson's able to do there. So the Pirates strike first here, Preston, with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, go up 6-0.
So that'll bring out Alan Ramirez, the senior, for the extra point for the Pirates. Good snap and hold. The kick is away, and it is good. And Pittsburgh strikes first with 5:08 remaining in the first quarter. It's Pittsburgh 7, Grace nothing. We'll be right back to Grace Game Day after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day as Pittsburg gets set to kick off. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth, and Pittsburg strikes first. Chris, 5:08 remaining in the first quarter, 7-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pretty good drive there. They were able to kind of control the line of scrimmage with their offensive line, 3 different running backs. I don't think they completed a pass, maybe one short one, but I think they mostly ran the ball that entire drive as they strike first.
Kind of a knuckleball kick that bounces inside the 20. Taken up to the 10, the 15, 20. Got a hole. 30. He's to the 40. One man to beat. It's the kicker. To the 40. Cuts back inside the 30, and taken down. Looks like the ball came out, and they're calling it a turnover.
I was hoping they were going to call him down. It didn't look like it sprung out till he hit the turf.
I thought he was down.
Yeah, I feel like that ball came out as soon as he hit the turf, but obviously the refs are seeing it different. They're talking about it. Coach Russell's halfway onto the field agreeing with us, I think, Preston, but there's not a lot of dialogue being had about changing that call. Nope.
There's the signal from the referee, and I really kind of disagree with that call.
Shoot, I do too. And what a great return. I mean, if you want to see the positive, at least we got them back, obviously, inside their own 20. But, man, it would have been nice to set up shop right there in the red zone to begin with. But let's see if we can bear down on defense. It just thinks that we just got them off the field, and they didn't have a lot of time to rest.
Yeah, and that was going to be excellent field position. But the Pirates will take over now at their own 19-yard line. Shotgun snap to Johnson.
Well, there's a hold there by number 50. My
Still
gosh.
laying on him. Airs it out deep. Has number 12 caught. And he stumbles inside the 30 and goes down.
Yeah, Christian Henry's back there in coverage, but gosh, what a big play out there to number 12, Nick Stiles. Quarterback seemed to have a little bit extra time from the hold from the right tackle there, but that was not called. And so they flipped the field pretty quickly. Now they set up at our 25.
Yeah, that was a big-time hold that was missed there. And it's unfortunate that it results in such a big play. It's going to be a handoff. He's got Cougars all over the backfield.
Yeah, Wyatt Buchanan there to start with and wrap him up for a nice loss after that big play. Nice to see the Cougs bounce back with a big play on defense.
That's going to be a loss of 3. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 13. And now, Chris, now that you got them behind the chains, you'd really like to see the Cougars defense just stiffen up here and hold them.
Yeah, 100%. Big sack or something as they try to throw the football, or a big play on the backside and from a corner or a safety. But, yeah, this is a great time to make a big play on the defense, give the ball back to the offense, and not let them come down here and score twice in a row.
Be a great time for a turnover as well. It's going to be a handoff, and once again, defense stands strong.
Yeah, that's number 11, Dylan Stinson, number 65, Matt Gaudier, both there for the tackle.
So it still has him behind the chains. He fell forward for a yard, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 12.
Yeah, great opportunity. I got to think it's probably 2-down territory for the Pirates. I mean, I don't think they're going to kick a 45-yard field goal. Maybe they proved me wrong in doing that, but let's see if we can hold them for 2 plays to get the ball back. Got 2 guys lined up wide here.
Play action fake, pressure coming, jump throw, incomplete.
Yeah, pressure there by Dylan Stinson made Cord Johnson have to act, and Aaron Vadrine was in there too, but made Cord Johnson act a little bit quicker than he wanted to on that play, I think.
And as that ball was fluttering, it almost looked like Justice McQuay might have a better shot at it than anybody.
Yeah, they are going to prove me wrong and try to kick a looks to be about a 42, 43-yard field goal. Maybe 44.
Yeah, it's going to be a 44-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap, hold, the kick is away.
Really
and
good,
it's good.
Really good kick. Sorry for questioning Alan Ramirez over there from Pittsburgh, because that kick was good from 50-plus and was right down the middle.
Yes, it was. And so now that makes the score 10-0 Pittsburgh with 3:03 remaining in the first. We'll be back right after this. All right, now let's stabilize.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Golly, it was such a great run back, dang it. It sure looked like, I mean, yeah, they were piling on him, but I didn't see the ball come out till he bounced off the ground, but
Yeah, I didn't either.
guess not. I hate to see this hold on the right tackle. I mean, the guy just had him up under the shoulder pads and was just holding on for dear life.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to Grace Game Day. Well, Chris, I'm glad we weren't saying anything that we didn't want to say because our commercial never played. It just, we talked through that whole thing.
Well, everybody knows what's on our mind now in terms of the couple questionable calls early in the game. Of course, we're on the Grace side of seeing them that way. But nonetheless, I kind of feel like both of them went against us, and so it's time to kind of get over that adversity and get back in the game. Braden Alexander back in the game deep, but it's kicked way over his head into the middle of the end zone. It's like Alan Ramirez heard me question him, and he's just going to boom everything now.
Yeah, quite the leg on him,
Yeah.
that is for sure. And now we've got a late flag that just got dropped.
Yeah, and they threw it right next to a Pirate player. Number 17, Peyton Bransford, is on the field, and so I'm not sure what that's all about, but might not bode well for us if they're dropping it right by where he's on the ground. Makes you question how he got there. It is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Cougars. I didn't see what happened. Did you see anything there?
I didn't see it. It was in a crowd, and I don't know.
I just figured by the way he dropped that flag by the kid that was down, it was probably something we did that we shouldn't have, but I did not see it.
And the Pirate that was down got up and walked off under his own power, so that's good to see.
Good to see. Also good to see 46 back in the backfield for the Cougars. It's just not one of those things you want to see when you're coming, you're down 10-0. You're probably a little bit frustrated on a couple plays that flip the field, and then you get a call like this. It's just kind of time to right the ship, and that's hard for a young team.
Play action fake. Etheridge looking deep over the middle of the field for Porter, and he makes the catch in the Pirate territory.
Great catch there by Doak Porter, and he's in double coverage back there. He had Elijah Johnson and Braden Lafayette on him, but a great pass and a great catch by Doak Porter.
And Grace is going to go in a little bit of a tempo.
I like that.
At the 40, that was an all-state first down and a big chunk. Looking for BA, it's a screen out of the backfield. Lots of Pirates there.
Yeah, 3 guys right there pretty early on. Amari Grant seems to be around the football quite a bit on the defensive side for the Pirates.
Second down and 14 now.
Both teams have stopped the other early on in the down count and gotten them behind the sticks. The Pirates have gotten out of it. Let's see if we can do the same.
I think we just barely got set there, but it's going to be another loss.
Face
mask.
The ref is right here on the 45-yard line with a pretty good view of it, but no call there.
I watched his motion there to Coach Russell. He's saying that it was the Pirates' wrist that hit the face mask.
And it looked like B.A. was probably already down anyway or virtually down. I'm not sure that he used the face mask to tackle him, so I see what he's saying. Nonetheless, leaves us in third and long. Looks like there's a flag on the far side of the field. Yeah, and they did call that. I think you saw that too, Preston. It looked like we had 2 guys moving before the snap there, and for a second I thought we had gotten away with it, but it looks like they threw the flag, and they're going to call that after all.
Yeah. Etheridge motioned for them to go in motion, and 2 players went. One of them tried to get set quickly, and then the snap happened, and it was just the timing was off the whole way.
So we get second down back, but second and 19.
Etheridge pressured from behind. The ball is loose, and Pittsburg is on it.
Yeah, there's just no way Slade knew that guy was coming off the corner from behind him. He was waiting to set up a deep throw to Doak Porter again, but as the play was progressing, the guy was closing in on him, and before Slade could get rid of it, he got hit from behind, never saw it coming. So the defense is back on the field again. 1:48 left in the first quarter. It'd be nice to get a little break at some point on this drive to give these guys on defense a little bit more of a rest. They've been out there a fair bit this first quarter.
Yeah, this is definitely not the ideal start for Grace. Pittsburgh starting in Grace territory. Pressured, and down he goes.
There we go. We kind of returned the favor there. Wyatt Buchanan with a ton of pressure. First Cougar there. Also crawling up off the bottom of the pile there is Elijah Hicks. So we got on him early. And just like I said, Preston, the team is behind the sticks again. It's happened over and over this first quarter with the defense is making good plays behind the line of scrimmage and setting up the offenses with second down and 12 and 14 and 15. And here the Pirates are in that same situation.
Yeah,
well, maybe not. Where are we going? Do we get another penalty? I didn't even see.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, personal foul.
He just pointed toward Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, that's not where they're stepping it off, though. And,
Nope.
and the Grace Cougar fans are not real happy about it. I mean, a couple calls we didn't get, a couple calls gone against us. I mean, two 15-yard penalties within the last probably 2 minutes of play.
So you go from a sack and 2nd and 16 to 1st and 2. Johnson's going to throw out in the flat, wide open, and first down yardage.
Yeah, Cam Dottie out there ran a nice route and was wide open before Justice could get over there and make a play. So that'll give the Pirates a first down.
We're setting our clock to match the scoreboard clock. They let a few seconds run off there when he went out of bounds. Just trying to match what they've got. 1st and 10. Play action fake. Pressured again. Throwing deep to the end zone. And they're going to call that a catch and a touchdown.
Man, that's Cam Doty again. And what a great throw. Cord Johnson is under pressure. Cole Stanley had come off the edge and was putting pressure on him, but he was able to put enough air under it where Dottie was able to run under it and make an incredible catch there for a 28-yard touchdown pass for the Pirates.
Yeah, that was quite the rainbow throw there. And it came down right where it needed to.
For a second, I thought he might be out of the back of the end zone, but I think he just had 1 foot in, and it was a clean touchdown. Extra point's good, too.
Yep, 17-0 with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth. I'm Preston Proctor. With me tonight is Chris Phillips. And Chris, this has been a first quarter to forget for the Cougars. 17-0. Had a couple of calls, and by a couple of calls, I mean about 4 or 5 calls that really seemed like they went the wrong way. And I don't think that's the homer that's talking in me. I think it's the football fan.
Yeah.
And it has that and some mistakes and being outplayed has really put the Cougars in a hole.
It has. And when you couple all that with a young team, some of these mistakes are due to youth. Trying to overcome stuff that doesn't go your way is a challenge to the youth. And so these kids will continue to learn and grow and develop and be better because of it.
McQuay from the 10, cutting across now up the middle of the field, and down he goes at the 15. Just not much room there.
No, handful of guys there for Pittsburgh. Looks like Elijah Johnson was the first one there as they corral him inside the 20. I was hoping we were going to get a break on defense during that. We are now, but I was hoping we were going to get it at the end of the first quarter while we were still on the field as a defensive unit to get a little bit of a rest. But hopefully this time we can put together a little drive, get a break between quarters, get the defense some rest. But I think it is a pretty important drive, Preston, to put together some yards and hopefully some points.
Yeah, it is. And B.A., once again, not on the field for Grace. Empty backfield for Etheridge. Here's the snap. Now he's going to tuck it and run. His pressure comes immediately, and he just does well to get back to the line of scrimmage, and I'm not even sure he got back there.
Yeah, he's run down pretty early by number 23, Elijah McKay, and number 25, Tamarian Willis out there on the left side. And you're right, he lost a couple yards on the play.
Clock is running. They actually don't have to snap it again, and they don't look like they're going to.
Probably a decent idea just to ride this into the second quarter. You know, BA's limping bad on the sideline over here. Not a good sign. He's tried to go back in a couple times, but.
And that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. After one, Pittsburg is up 17-0. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth. We'd like to say thank you to some of our sponsors. Hope Church is a church in White House that is a supporter of Grace Game Day. Biomax Spray Foam Insulation is a proud sponsor of Grace Game Day, as well as a big supporter of all things Grace Community. Allstate, the local agent Monette Taylor in White House. If you've got some insurance questions, or if you'd like somebody to just review your policy and tell you if what you've got is working for you, go see Monette Taylor. She'll take good care of you, and I can definitely tell you she'll be honest with you. So go by and see her. We appreciate our sponsors. We'll talk about more of them as the night goes on. And Grace is going to come out now, 2nd down and 12 from their own 14-yard line. Shotgun snap, and it's going to be a Wildcat. Stanley coming to the near sideline. He's got some space across the 15.
God, now Doak Porter gets up limping after being kind of caught up in that mess. He's trying to block for Stanley as he comes around the corner. He comes up limping. So 3rd down, looks like about 3rd and 7. Scoreboard says 3rd and 6. Need a positive play here on the offensive side.
Etheridge back in. McQuay in the backfield with him.
Whistles everywhere, flag in the backfield.
This has got to be against Pittsburg, right?
They have too many men on the field. Usually when that back judge comes in. Sideline warning.
Can we mark off 17 points for it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind 17 points, 6 yards, whatever you got. We'll take it.
3rd down. Etheridge back in for Grace. Now McQuay motions out of the backfield. Etheridge flushed. He's going to run. 20. He needs to make a man miss. Gets around him and has an all-state 1st down.
Well, he stayed in bounds a lot longer than it looked like he was going to there, Preston, and long enough to get the 1st down. Good run there.
Yeah, that was a much-needed conversion.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball back to the Pirates again. You're punting from your own 25. I mean, just not stacked up well there. So a huge play there to keep the momentum going and to keep the defense on the sideline resting a little bit.
Hard count. Pirates kind of leaned into it a little bit.
I think he's going to get them at least one time during this game with that. That's 2 times they've flinched.
That's a QB run all the way. And the ball came out. Was he down?
Nobody in black and white is saying he was down.
And still no signal.
The Pirates do come out with the ball, but we still do not have a signal from the refs about whether he was down. Looks like the ref on the far side is lobbying for him being down before the fumble. And that's not going to be the call.
My goodness.
Man, just a lot of adversity this first quarter for the young Cougar team. few tough calls, a couple a couple turnovers, backs against the wall, it seems like. So it's going to take a big play on the defensive side. I think, football's such a game of momentum, Preston, that it's kind of like one of those downhill trains when it's on your side, but, man, it stinks when it's not. And the Cougars are going to have to do something to get it back on their side here. It's going to have to be a turnover on defense.
Yeah, it's going to need to be that. I'm putting in an order for one right now.
Let's
if
do it.
anybody's listening.
Holding.
Johnson going deep, middle of the field, and he's calling that a catch. That ball, I believe, hit the ground.
Wow. What a throw. That's Stephen Duffy again back there on the backside, and an unbelievable throw from Cord Johnson. I mean, he's thrown a couple of pretty deep balls that these guys have run under. But, man.
Yeah, Chris, Cord Johnson, I mean, there's no doubt about it. That young man is throwing dimes on
and
this
throwing
field tonight.
deep balls. And he's got some guys that have speed, obviously, that are running underneath him because he's not sitting back there all night waiting for the play to develop. I mean, he's getting 5-step drop, and he's throwing it down there, and they're getting under it.
24-0 early in the second quarter. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth. I'm Preston Proctor. With me tonight is Chris Phillips. It's been all Pittsburgh for the first quarter and 69 seconds.
It has. We were talking about earlier, Cord Johnson just throwing some unbelievable passes and his receivers running underneath him for 2 long touchdowns back-to-back, seems like in the last 2 minutes of game time.
High kick. McQuay from the 5. He's up to the 15, coming near sideline 20. Got a little bit of a seam, and then he is going to be taken out of bounds at the 27.
Yeah, decent return there. Decent field position. And now time to put together a little something on the offensive side to, again, try to get the momentum back, Preston. It's just so, it's so far on their side right now. We're just going to have to create a big play to get some of it back.
Yeah, and, you need to start, no time like the present.
Yep.
Of course, the old saying is how to eat an elephant.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
Right.
And you start with the first bite right here. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. He's back, looking, throws deep out, and it's too deep.
Lined up in 4 wide there. It looked like pretty obvious we were going to throw the football. He tries to throw it to Stanley over there on the far side, just a little bit high. Man, number 75 on the D-line, Tyrell Wilson for the Pirates is a big kid there right on the nose of the football every down.
Yeah, that's a handful. Definitely somebody not easy to deal with there.
And that's Baker Reagan at center. He's got his hands full all night.
Etheridge going to roll immediately there, just trying to create a moving pocket. And it's going to be a completed pass taken down for a gain of about 5 yards.
He hit Cole Stanley out there for a short game, but I have noticed about the Pirates, they rally to the football. It doesn't matter who's out there making the tackle. You look up, and there's 4 or 5 Pirates right there in the middle of the action.
Yeah, they get there quick. 3rd down and 5 goes without saying Grace needs a conversion here. And once again.
Almost got him again.
That was number 5 for Pittsburgh. He was just really ready to jump there. Etheridge is back. Throwing deep down the far sideline and overthrown. We get a flag. I think we might get a flag that goes our way this time.
Looks like one might go our way. He's looking for Stanley out there, who's got a bunch of speed. Number 18, Braden Lafayette, is back there on coverage. But I think he grabbed a little bit of Cole Stanley's jersey as he was heading down the sideline. Hopefully this one will go our way. Give us a first down, keep the drive going.
A lot of discussion here for this.
I think they might be trying to decide whether it's pass interference or defensive holding. Obviously, the yardages for those two are different. Looks like they're going to call a defensive holding because they're only moving the ball up a few yards. No.
Oh, he's walking on.
Okay. I don't think we've gotten the signal from the ref yet. Here he comes.
Here we go. Let's say he hasn't made the call yet.
Okay, well, it's a 10-yard penalty. And so they were offsides and holding. We obviously take the holding and get a few more yards out of that, but the biggest thing there is that we get a first down.
Yeah, much needed first down. Fresh set of downs from the 42. Play action fake. Etheridge is back. Sets up, looking deep over the middle of the field.
Well, a lot of contact
there. A lot
there.
of contact.
That's the same two people that were tangled up on the last play. Braden Lafayette trying to cover Cole Stanley down the field, but, man, there was a lot of contact in the middle of the field and no flag.
I mean, maybe they're trying to say it was uncatchable. It was uncatchable because he got tackled.
Right.
Just really, really unfortunate here. 2nd and 10. 9:31 remaining in the first half. And it's going to be a handoff to McQuay. Cuts across midfield. Nice run there.
Nice hole there. Nice job by the Cougar offensive line to give McQuay a big hole. And the chains are moving again, Preston. So nice to see the Cougars with a little bit of rhythm and a nice little drive going here. Let's see if we can keep it going.
Clock approaching 9 minutes remaining in the half. And they did mark him just short of the first down marker. 3rd and 1.
The chains had moved, and then they brought him back.
Stanley.
There we go.
He'll get that All-State first down.
Yeah, good job by those guys up front. That's Luke Anderson and Braden Gregory over there on that left side, working hard and giving him a hole. You got Braden Wells in there as well. Jay Pillsbury, all those guys up front working hard against a really big front four for Pittsburgh. Matt Gaudier in there as well.
I'd like to see Grace establish some momentum here. Stanley stays in. High snap. He pulls it down following the blockers. Got a little bit of room as he gets down to the 40-yard line.
Got a little bit of a rhythm with this direct snap working with Cole Stanley in there. Let's see if we stick to it. I mean, a couple big plays in a row after the McQuay first or long run to set us up.
2nd down and 4. And Stanley is going to stay in at the Wildcat position. And once again, 5 there for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was ready to go on that hard count.
You mark my word, we're going to get them at least once tonight with that.
Direct snap high again. Thankfully, Stanley's tall. And we got a flag down. That's going to be an unbelievable call.
I mean, all he did was pancake the guy running around the corner. I mean, I like to see Andrew Gardner in there. He's tough. He's working in the backfield to open up a hole. And he's probably going to get called for a holdback here that I do not think was a holding call.
I did see one Grace coach motioning against Pittsburgh.
Well, that'd be great because I didn't think it was an offensive holding.
But it is. They're backing it up.
Personal foul what? He didn't really give an explanation, just called a personal foul on the Cougars. I think their 3rd 15-yard penalty of the first half.
So now that puts them behind the chains.
At
2nd
midfield.
and 14. Nose of the football right on midfield. Etheridge back in. Empty backfield. And he's going to be running it here up the middle and runs over a Pirate. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a lot of contact in there, but a good run by Slade. Still going to set up a 3rd and 10. Still need a big play. Seems like we've had to say that a lot tonight, Preston, just to kind of hang around, is that if the Cougars can get a big play or keep sustaining this drive, then we got a chance to gather a little bit of momentum before the half. But we're going to have to get it here, and I'm guessing it's probably, again, 4-down territory. So 2 downs to get the 10 yards here, I would think.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. Play clock down to 5. I'm not sure we're going to get this play off. And we just did. Etheridge fires near sideline.
There's a lot of contact before the ball.
Unreal.
What are we doing?
Unreal that there's no call right there.
I mean, it's so obvious right here on the just inside the 40-yard line. The cornerback hits Doak a full second before the football gets there, and no flag. I mean, blatant, right in front of the ref, right here on our sideline, and no call. Preston, I mean, the Cougars just continue to get frustrated with things not going their way. And a lot of it, in my opinion, has been aimed at the officiating, which has not been favorable for the Cougars.
No, it has not. And we're going to get a timeout, Grace. Coach Russell probably just trying to cool everybody down. This timeout brought to you by Scoop and Grind. Chris, you know, when you're playing against a good team, it just really puts you behind the 8 ball when the calls are as inconsistent as they have been tonight. There's been 2 fumbles that I really felt like the player was down when the ball came out. They called them fumbles. It was a turnover, gave the ball back to the Pirates. And then we've had a couple of calls that were very questionable. And then this one, the lack of the call was just unbelievable here.
And every single one of those, Preston, that you're talking about has been in favor of the Pirates. I mean,
they've all been in favor
you know,
of the Pirates.
You could look and say the officiating has been whatever you want to say, if it's going both ways or if it's inconsistent or if both teams seem to be frustrated. But from my vantage point, the entire first half, every single call has gone against the Cougars. So we are still going to go for it. I thought, Coach, you said maybe just calming them down. I thought maybe he was thinking about not potentially giving the Pirates a short field if we, or half field if we don't get it here. But Coach Russell has decided to go for it here. So we're lining back up at the 46-yard line to do just that.
4th and 10. Etheridge in the gun. Play action fake. Etheridge with a deep drop. Throws. And it is caught by Doak Porter for an all-state first down.
Great catch there by Doak Porter. There's really pretty good coverage by Nicadrian Chalmers over there. But Doak came back to the ball and made a great play at a time when we really, really needed it.
Yes, very much needed that.
You got a young team, but you go to one of your senior leaders when you need a big play,
yes.
And that's exactly what they did there by looking for Porter on 4th and 10.
Great job overcoming that on the previous play where the lack of pass interference call left you with 4th and 10 instead of 1st and 10. Quick screen out to McQuay. He's slung down after about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, good tackle out there by Cam Dottie on the edge. He is able to get about 3 or 4 yards, but a good tackle out there in space. Elijah Hicks coming in the game, give Doak a quick rest. You got Christian Henry out here on the right side, and it looks like you're going to have Cole Stanley as the other receiver with Hicks in the backfield. And Etheridge at quarterback.
Etheridge tucks, runs, gets past the first wave. And that's going to be an all-state first down.
Yeah, good job up front by our offensive line. I've mentioned a couple times they're outsized tremendously by a couple of those big guys from Pittsburgh, but they opened a nice hole right there for Slade to run as he gets inside the East Texas Nutrition red zone for a first down.
Clock running as we approach 5 minutes remaining in the half. It's been a sustained drive here, Chris, taking a lot of time off the clock, giving the defense a breather.
A very nice drive by the Cougars, which obviously we hope ends in points, but nonetheless, some confidence being gained on this drive.
Etheridge quickly to the sideline. and incomplete. Oh, and that's
What is that?
There we go. Hey, they found their flag. Thank you.
Goodness gracious, he's out there. Coleman Swaim is out there, after the play is the incomplete pass, and he's still out there exposed, and one of the cornerbacks from Pittsburgh comes up and pops him, and we finally do get a flag on the play for the Cougars. Sorry to get all excited there.
It's been a first half, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We got emotions up here too because of the things that you want these kids to get some of the calls to go their way. So it's excited to finally see one do that. So we'll set up 1st and goal here.
1st and goal from the 5. Etheridge in the gun. One step up the middle, churning his way inside the 2. And he's going to be brought down right at the 2-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and goal.
Looked for a second like he might have the momentum to get in there, but he's met with a host of D linemen from Pittsburgh and stopped just short. So nonetheless, we got a few more looks at it here from inside the 5-yard line. It'd be nice to just punch it in and, again, maybe grab back some of that momentum that we've been searching for.
You get into the East Texas Nutrition Red Zone, and it takes some strength and toughness down here. And we're going to get a timeout here. Pittsburgh did not like what they saw.
Okay, I noticed Etheridge is down here on our sideline. Looked like we were going to do another direct snap to Cole Stanley there. And maybe Pittsburgh didn't like the way they were lined up personnel-wise for that play.
Well, and Grace was kind of loading it up, Chris. They brought Gardner in for that play, and so they were kind of beefing it up in there, and I think Pittsburgh didn't like the matchups they were looking at. 4:12 remaining in the half. Grace trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it'd be really good to get on the scoreboard here. Again, probably 3 more looks at it from inside from the 2-yard line. I like our chances, and I like our chances to gain a little bit of confidence. And again, this defense has been able to rest a little bit. That's been a challenge in the first half. They spent so much time on the field this first half that they were just worn flat out. So this nice long drive has not only been good for the offensive confidence, but for rest for defense. Some of these guys playing both ways is a lot of work.
Yes, absolutely. So, Chris, the ball is on the 1. 2nd and goal. Jumbo set for Grace.
It still is Cole
Snap to
Stanley.
Stanley. He's going to run it. Has to step to the outside, and down he goes.
Yeah, really good tackle out there by Will Strube. He was trying to get outside, and one-on-one, Will Strube in space makes a great tackle.
Yeah, that's a big loss back to the 7-yard line. Makes it 3rd and goal from the 7 now.
More traditional set coming in with Etheridge coming back in.
I want to welcome you to Grace Game Day tonight. What a interesting first half it's been. It's been all Pittsburgh, but Grace has not been dominated quite as much as the scoreboard would show. There's just been some calls and some bounces that have really not gone their way. And it's part of the game, but it does make an impact nonetheless.
We're going to have to call timeout here. Clock was running down. We had a couple guys on offense not seem to know where they need to be, so Coach Russell's going to take a timeout, obviously not to risk a 5-yard penalty there. So far down in Pirate territory. But, yeah, to your point, Preston, I mean, I think that'll probably be Coach Russell's message at halftime is, hey, whatever the score might be, hopefully it's 17-7, somewhere thereabouts, and we're able to say, look, we're down 10 points after some monster penalties, some monster calls go against us, a couple big plays go against us, and only down 10 points and still in the football game, just in an effort to keep their heads held high and get them to come out in the second half fighting.
And this is where, again, let's go all the way back to the beginning of this game, Chris. This is where I love to kick to start the game because right now you can look at that clock and say 3:24. I mean, really at this point, what you'd love to see is Grace score right here and then get the ball back again before the halftime comes and be able to get points on the board again. But you're looking at really what you could call a point sandwich.
Yeah.
And you score back-to-back times, and all of a sudden a 24-point deficit becomes a much smaller deficit, and it's a wholly different ball game in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, 24. Sorry, I said 17 earlier, but yeah, 24 point deficit here for the Cougars. But like you said, if we score here and get a stop and get the ball back to start the second half, I think we can continue to build on this drive here.
Etheridge in the gun for Grace. 3 wide receiver set. McQuay in the backfield. Now he's going to motion out. Empty backfield. McQuay motions back to the near sideline. Etheridge looking that way. Pressured. And I think that ball's loose. They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Well, the ref threw his beanbag down like they... Yeah, I do think they're going to call it an incomplete pass and end up attempting a field goal here. Still a lot of discussion. Okay, he's going to pick up the bag, call it an incomplete pass, and probably lucky we didn't get called for intentional grounding. I mean, I don't think there was anybody in the area when he threw that pass. He was clearly just trying to get rid of it to avoid the sack. But hopefully we'll come away at least with a few points here.
This field goal attempt brought to you by Hager Family Law. It is a 24-yard attempt. Snap and hold. The kick is away. And it is good. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's no good.
Oh, missed it off to the right.
Oh, man. From this angle, it looked good.
It did look good. It had plenty of leg. It was up high. They were charging off the right side there, but it had tons of height, but it apparently just missed off to the right. Boy, and a handful of these guys going back out on the defensive side that have been in there that entire drive on offense.
It's a restless feeling over here in the home bleachers tonight, Chris.
It is.
It has not gone well. I mean, make no mistake, Grace has made some mistakes, but again, I don't think they've been hindered more than they've been helped. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Some frustrations the entire half from the fans, from the coaching staff, from the players, from us. I'm not sure what's taking so long to change the possession here. Or where he's going for that matter.
I thought that when there was a missed field goal, I thought the other team took over at the spot of the kick.
Is that what it is? Because we weren't that. We were further. We were inside.
Yeah, we weren't that deep. We were just inside the 15. But oh well.
Oh gosh,
that was almost what we needed. Aaron Vadrine
right there. He got his left hand on it. It was a pass out to the flats. Vadrine was able to get his left hand on it. It was kind of a funky angle, and it would have been an unbelievable interception had he been able to pull it down. But nonetheless, a good play to get his hand on the ball and knock the pass down from Cord Johnson.
Stops the clock with the incomplete pass. 2:57 remaining in the half. 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Johnson. He's going to hand it off. Big hole right up the middle. And Cole Stanley is going to fight him to the ground.
Yeah, Lane Hall with a head of steam on a long run. Good tackle in space by Cole Stanley. I mean, running back there just ducked his head and was looking to run somebody over, but Cole made a good tackle. And they're going to try to go with a little bit of tempo here.
May hand off again. Same result, just about.
Yeah, same play. This time Matt Gaudier is able to run him down, but 2 big first down runs there in a row, and they are lining up with tempo again, wasting no time.
This time Johnson's going to keep it. Midfield and
Holding.
more.
Oh, no. Now we're going to get – I have no idea how we're not going to get called for a horse collar tackle there.
I don't either. But
or a hold out here by number 20, the running back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
if they're not going to call holding, they might as well not call anything, right?
Another big run for the Pirates as they set up inside our 30. Might consider calling timeout at some point just to get a little bit of breath in these guys.
First and 10. Johnson is back, looking, steps up in the pocket, now flushed out to the right, still looking. Now he's just going to run, and Andrew Gardner chases him down.
Yeah, really good play. Andrew Gardner had to run a long way to make that play, and he chased him down as he rolled right. He was looking deep. He wanted to throw that deep ball again.
And we have reached the 2-minute warning, a new thing in high school football this year. They do have a 2-minute timeout. And we have reached the 2-minute timeout. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
In the heart of White House, there's a place where hope resides. Welcome to Hope Church, where the embrace of hope transforms lives. We are more than a church. We are a refuge of compassion, a haven of strength, and a beacon of light. At Hope Church, you'll discover a community that's here for you. Join us in the journey of hope, where every story matters. Your place of hope, right here, right now.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth, and it has been all Pirates tonight. All Pirates, well, what I was going to say is all Pirates and officials, but I'm not going to say that.
Mostly Pirates, some officials.
Yeah. The percentage is still in question,
yeah.
But, oh, man. Second and long for Pittsburg as the scoreboard has never gone back to 2 minutes. It's at 150. I'm not sure what to do there. Handoff. And he churns.
Boy, inside the lane hall, it looks like we got him stopped up, and you look up and he's 7 or 8 yards downfield. And the Pirates don't have any – I mean, they're going to go fast every play right now.
Third down, Johnson up the middle.
And good tackle.
Grace stops him.
Yeah.
Right at the 20.
Yeah, really good tackle there. Luke Anderson comes out of there. You got Gardner on the ground. You got Cole Stanley getting up off the ground. Really good tackle in there.
So, Chris, that brings up 4th and 2. The offense is going to stay on the field.
Again, just seeking any momentum we can get as a squad here, and a 4th down stop would give you some. But, boy, they got Big 21 in there pushing that quarterback forward.
That was almost their version of the tush push.
It was the TAPS tush push, or the UIL tush push.
Johnson's going to keep it spinning across the 15-yard line. At this point, Chris, mission number 1 is to keep them from scoring between now and halftime.
That's right. Luke Anderson a little bit slow to get up there. Man, they're just getting worn out on that line with this tempo. Johnson
looking, throwing for the end zone, and
great
broken
play
up
by Coleman Swaim there. Really made a good move on the ball. It looked like it was open, looked like it could be a touchdown, and Coleman Swaim comes flying in there at the last second and makes a great play.
And that's going to be one of the few passes that Johnson has missed on tonight, Chris. If he puts that ball out in front of his receiver, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, I think you're right.
31 seconds remaining until halftime. 3rd down and 8. Johnson in the gun. High snap. He pulls it down, and it's going to be a reverse. And Grace is there, but not able to make the tackle. Running into the end zone.
Crackback block by number 6 that was also uncalled. I mean, they took that out of the game because people were really getting hurt by that kind of play when a play reverses field like that. And, again, a missed call that ends up in a big play for the Pirates.
Ramirez in for the extra point. Good snap and hold. The kick is away, and it is good. Well, Chris, what do you dial up with 21 seconds remaining in the half and down 31?
You know, we did have one good long kickoff return, so we've got that in our favor. If we could pull that out again, that'd be great. Put us at least with a shot to score. Otherwise, you just take it, if you're on your side of the field in negative territory, probably just take it to half and try to stay positive, get some rest, come out with the ball to start the third quarter, and try to set up one of those, long drives like we did late in the first half.
I'd like to say thank you to a couple more sponsors tonight. Harley's is a great place to get menswear, suits and sport coats, shirts and ties and socks and shoes and all the good stuff, Chris. Gentlemen, if you're looking for some good clothing, go by and see Harley's. They will take good care of you. Located next to Dakota's Steakhouse. And then also I'd like to say a big thank you to Hager Family Law. If you've got a need for a family law situation, I would encourage you to go talk to the Hager Family Law Firm. They will take really good care of you. 21 seconds. Ramirez is going to kick off. It's a high, relatively shorter kick from the 6, quickly up to the 15, comes back to the middle of the field, now reverses back to the far side and just runs out of space.
That's Elijah Hicks there with the return. But, again, being inside the 20-yard line, I don't expect us to do much here other than take it to the house for a rest and be ready to come back for the second half.
Yeah, you got 13 seconds on the clock here, and it's 31-0. Last thing you want to do is give up something crazy and make it even worse than what it is at this moment.
I've been pretty impressed with the speed of the Pirates. I've been pretty impressed with the strength on both sides of the line, and I think late in the half as they realized they were wearing us down, boy, they just really picked up the tempo on that last drive.
5 wide receiver set, empty backfield for Etheridge. We'll see what they do here. He's back, looking for a pass out in the flat to McQuay, and he stumbles, and they are going to call him down at the 18-yard line, and I think that'll do it. And so we have reached halftime with your score, Pittsburgh 31, Grace nothing. We'll be back for the halftime festivities right after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
All right, welcome back to Grace Game Day. It is halftime. We're going to point the microphones toward the field, put the camera on the festivities, and allow you to enjoy halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half.
I knew that I would know people in this section. Yeah, I figured that out last week. Yeah, at the fourth quarter, I was like, everyone I know is here. So we're in the, I guess the school, I was going to say the sad section, but I guess the score is the same in every section.
uniform in the center of Clyde Perkins Stadium. One of the most decorated military bands in the state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that thunder across the land. The power of Pittsburgh High School Varsity Band.
about the money, but playing with salary, so I think it's much more flexible. I don't have to all the time. Oh, but I guess I left it 145%. No question. Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it. I'm on the other side. Tonight, the two Reds will be performing a round of the
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me tonight, filling in for Josh McElhaney, is Chris Phillips. Chris, thanks so much for filling in. I am going to say I'm beginning to wonder if I should blame this on you.
Glad to be here helping,
I'm
but
just playing, Chris.
if the curse of Chris Phillips is anything, if it's real, it was not good in the first half for the Cougars.
No, it was really a tough first half, to say the least, in multiple ways, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy that just harbors on it too much, but I think the officiating was questionable in a lot of areas. Grace certainly did make some mistakes. Pittsburgh certainly did make some really great plays. I'm not taking any of that away. But there were some things that were just really caused me to scratch my head.
Just one of those halves where you think, gosh almighty, if anything could have gone wrong, it did. And even if you're an optimist or a realist, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. You just got to regroup at halftime and grow and learn. And, again, we talked about in the first half, they're young. And so some of that stuff is due to the youth. Some of that is due to the size of Pittsburgh, the speed of Pittsburgh. Like you said, they made some great plays. But I think as long as you come back fighting in the second half and you grow and you just continue to build off of every opportunity and every setback, I mean, that's what the game of football is about with these kids in high school, is to learn how to handle some of that stuff and to get back up and keep fighting and be there for your teammates. And so I'm excited to see that out of the Cougars. No matter the score on the scoreboard necessarily tonight, as long as they fight for the next 2 quarters, that's something we're looking for.
Chris, it's these games that I'm not saying they don't matter in wins and losses, but when it really comes down to it, they don't really matter so much in wins and losses. These are the moments that you are testing yourself to get prepared for district play, where the games count toward playoff standings. And so what Grace has done with the opponent that they had last week and then with a really great opponent in Pittsburgh tonight is they've brought some teams in that are good, really good, and they are testing themselves as they get prepared for district play here in just a few weeks.
Yeah, really good point. And I think it's smart, and I think good football teams do that because they want their teams well prepared by the time district rolls around. And so I've got no problem with that. I respect Coach Russell for doing that. And, again, let's just fight for 2 more quarters and see what happens. We'll get the ball here to start the second half. We talked about that a couple times in the first half. And, again, although we came up empty-handed with the missed field goal by King there late in the first half, we drove the ball, and hopefully that's enough confidence leading into the second half to do that again, that they believe they can do it. And then we put together something right here to come out.
Chris, I think there's some, I guess you could say, like benchmarks for the second half here. obviously you're not mailing this in and just saying, okay, we're not going to win this game. If you're down there and you've got a Cougar on the side of your helmet, you are playing to win right now.
That's right.
And you should. But here's some benchmarks that you also want to look for in this second half is, let's say, okay, we don't come out and win this game, but here's what we're looking for. Do we, first of all, first benchmark, let's crack the scoreboard. Let's get points on the board. The next one then is, can we outscore them in the second half? They won the first half, and I know it doesn't count in the standings, but it counts in growth. They won the first half. Can we come out and win the second half?
I think that's a huge benchmark right there, and would be a great goal right now as we start the second half, is to end the second half with positivity, with confidence, and having won the second half. No matter where that puts us at the end of the game, like you said, just continues to you continue to try to make progress throughout the season. You don't want to see setbacks. You don't want to see going the wrong direction. I think, as I look down there and see Coach Russell encouraging his players, I know they're all ready to do that and ready to fight for this second half, so we're about to get it going.
Pittsburg will kick off to Grace as the smoke from the tunnel is still hanging in the air. And it is a kick high and deep right through that smoke. McQuay from the 2. He's up to the 10. Cuts back at the 15 and cut down at the 17.
Yeah, good run back, but good kick coverage there. Peyton Bransfeld and Tamarian Willis there on the tackle for the Pirates.
So Grace will start this drive. The nose of the football is right on the 18-yard line. And so we will see what Coach Russell came up with in the halftime break. And we'll see what they implement here in the second half.
Yep, got McQuay in the backfield with him there to get started here in the second half. Pittsburgh looks a little confused on defense right away.
It's a jet sweep to Porter, and he turns the corner at the 20. And spins his way across the 22-yard line to the 23, it looks like they're marking him.
I like that he spun back, wanted to stay in play and continue to try to make a play there on offense, knowing his team needs a big play, needs leadership. He's a senior, been around for a while, so it's good to see him making those kinds of plays, showing these young guys what it's like to lead.
A little bit of a tempo here, no huddle for Grace. It's going to be a handoff to McQuay following the lead block, and he's got an all-state first down across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, great run there. Good blocking up front by the Cougars. It's good to see McQuay bust through there for a positive play and a first down early to start the second half.
So the chains move. Line of scrimmage is now the 33-yard line.
I mentioned it a couple times in the first half, but I mean they've got Amari Grant's all over the field on that defensive line, number 0. They got tons of size there in the middle. So these guys on our offensive line are oversized. They're young, but they are fighting hard on both sides of the ball tonight.
The empty backfield. Etheridge going to keep it up the middle, and he is head over heels down, no gain.
Yeah, Jaime Villegas there on the tackle just comes in low and trips him up for no gain.
So Grace is not doing, they're not going into a huddle, but they are kind of getting into a semi-position, looking to the sideline, getting instructions. Etheridge leads it out from there. But essentially kind of a no-huddle, semi-tempo here as the snap goes to Etheridge. Immediately rolling, throws to the far sideline. The catch is made, upended just short of the first down.
Yeah, good catch there by Cole Stanley. A good route, ready right there, sitting on that first down stick. He's just a yard short. He had to come back for that ball, but sets us up in a third and gettable there with about a yard left.
Yeah, very manageable 3rd and 1. Grace looks like they're going to tighten up here as Stanley comes in and essentially gets in a tight end position. McQuay to the right of Etheridge in the backfield. It's going to be a keeper for Etheridge up the middle, and I don't think he got it, Chris.
No, I think he's a little bit short there.
So now it's decision time. What do you do? 4th and 1, you're still on the wrong side of the 50.
Yeah, I think Coach Russell's playing on 2 plays there no matter what happened. So we set up here in 4th down, going to go for it.
Clock dips under 9.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Long look to the sideline here for the Cougars. And now it looks like Etheridge is going to split out. Stanley is looks like he's stepping into the Wildcat spot here.
I like that, Preston. I was going to mention that. We had some success with that in the first half, and when we need a yard, we need to move this forward for a first down on a big fourth down. I like this formation and this play call.
Here we go. And we're going to get a stop
I don't know if
here.
we got the play clock's at 0 over there. I don't know if we got it off. Looks like
it is delay a game, and they're sending the punting team onto the field now.
Yeah, it took them a second to get into that formation, it looked like, and that was probably the reason for the delay. It just took them a second. That once they got set up, they were up against the clock and weren't able to get it off. So, part of it could have been setting up, trying to get the defense to jump. We've almost gotten them to jump a couple times, but I really think we were going for it there.
I do too.
I just think that it took the play a little bit of time to develop, and you can see Coach Radcliffe over here talking to these guys as they come off the field, and just again a learning opportunity. They got to work. They got to work a little bit faster to get a play off on fourth down when you need a big play.
And I think Coach Russell was watching that. I think he just opted to let's take the delay of game and punt rather than burn a timeout right here.
Well, they're all looking to the sideline like they're missing somebody out there or something.
Play clock's at 0 again. End over end punt. It's going to go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it.
It's probably going to come up near the 40-yard line by the time it's all said and done. No, he goes back to the 35. Well, I would have liked to have seen us go for it there, get the play off, and keep the drive going to start the second half, but gives our defense an opportunity now to make a stand. I mean, we need that play to change the momentum a little bit, and, Vadrine got his hand on that pass in the flats earlier, almost picked it off. That might have been a pick six. So something like that goes our way, that gives them a little bit of energy and a little bit of confidence will go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shotgun snap to Johnson. It's going to be a handoff, and he runs right into who is that?
Yeah, good tackle there. That was Vadrine, and also number 65, Matt Gaudier there. Met him right at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle.
I'd like to say a big thank you to East Texas Nutrition for being a sponsor of Grace Game Day. East Texas Nutrition is located in the shopping center next to Green Acres Baptist Church. Go by there and get your loaded teas, great energy, protein shakes, protein bites, meal replacements, all kinds of good stuff. Go see them. Great crew there, as it's going to be it looked like it was kind of like a jet sweep, but more of a handoff variety.
I thought they might be trying to set up a reverse there, but there was a lot of traffic in the backfield, so ultimately he did not. The running back kept the ball there and got a handful of yards there. That's somebody a little slow to get up.
Stanley's slow getting up there.
He's gotten a lot of playing time tonight, obviously, on both sides of the ball, and been slow to get up a couple times. And it is pretty humid out there still. As we were out there at halftime, I thought, man, it's still got some warmth in the air.
Handoff up the middle, first down and into Cougar territory.
Yeah, that's Lane Hall again. We've gotten a heavy dose of him all night tonight. And he's looking for contact as he goes through and passes his offensive line and gets upfield.
Yeah, he has no problem absorbing contact.
Swapping in some subs. Braden Gregory comes off the field. Got number 6. Oh, we're going in there tight.
A little old school
really good tackle there
here
by Christian Henry. He started off. No, that's not Christian Henry. That's Elijah Hicks. He started off way out here, split wide, and then as the formation tightened, he went in there on the edge and made a really good tackle.
Very old school formation. They weren't very far off from kind of going into a little bit of a wishbone there.
Yeah, I think they found favor in running the football tonight with a combination of the quarterback, Cord Johnson, and obviously Lane Hall as well. Speaking of.
It's going to be a little pitch to him. Nice defense there by Grace.
Yeah, really good tackle. It looks like in the backfield, Aaron Vadrine got there and wrapped him up, and then, just a split second later, as he quite often is, Andrew Gardner was there to finish him off, setting up a 3rd and long.
Clock running as we approach 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
A fast third quarter so far, my goodness.
Well, they have run the ball and just kept the clock moving.
Which is probably what their objective is for the next quarter and a half.
Shotgun snap, and it's going to be a play-action fake, and he is sacked.
Yeah, really big, really good play coming off the corner there was Wyatt Buchanan. As the quarterback rolled to the left, he didn't see Buchanan coming, and Buchanan makes a huge play behind the line of scrimmage on a big 3rd down stop for the Cougars.
Chris, I'll tell you, Johnson did well to hold on to the ball there.
He did. That's another one of those plays that could have been really big. When quarterbacks are rolling one way and they don't feel the pressure coming, a lot of times that creates a fumble with a big hit, and that was a big hit. But you're right, Preston. He was really fortunate to hold on to that ball.
Now we got Porter back deep to receive here. Pressure on the punt, but he gets it away. It's kind of a wobbly punt headed toward the sideline. Takes a Grace bounce. Haven't been able to say that much tonight.
Yeah, that was nice to see. Elijah Hicks did a great job coming off the edge there on the punt coverage team to put some pressure on the punter and make him kind of hurry up a little bit. And ultimately, the punt's only, about 7 or 8 yards past where the 1st down marker was. Maybe not even that far. So that's good for the Cougars. Good stop. Great play by, again, one of the young Cougars, Buchanan, making his name known out there tonight by making a great play on a 3rd down stop when we really needed it, as it looked like the Pirates wanted to just sit back and continue to use their big offensive line and the big running back to just continue to run the ball. We made a great play there.
So Grace comes out on offense. 3 wide receivers to the near sideline. 1 lone receiver, Stanley, to the far sideline. McQuay comes in motion. Etheridge back, looking near sideline, looking, throws, deep out, and
good
caught
catch
on the sideline.
Yeah, great catch by Doak Porter there, just past the sticks. Really, really quality throw back there from Etheridge. A great route, and Porter's able to catch it as he gets 1 foot inbounds right before he goes out. Great pass and catch.
That's an all-state 1st down, and Chris, you're exactly right. That is a long throw.
Long throw. He's over there on the far hash, and he's throwing it diagonally. It's probably a 30-plus yard pass.
High snap. Ooh. Quick screen out to McQuay, and he's just not able to get free.
Yeah, number 25 for the Pirates. Tamarian Willis was there quickly to wrap him up and make a play. And then the safety, number 9, Willis, comes up and finishes him off for about a 5-yard loss.
And it just makes me wonder when the sideline interference comes into play. They've already had the sideline warning over there on the far sideline.
Right.
That official on the far side, Chris, just ran into one of the Pittsburgh coaches trying to mark the ball. McQuay breaks a tackle, makes a man miss, and that's a great run there.
Yeah, Justice was shifty there. I mean, he was caught up 4 to 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and where the initial contact was, 2 shifty moves, and probably gains 7 yards and gets inside the initial line of scrimmage, setting up still a 3rd and long, but it was a great play because it could have been 3rd and really long.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the most exciting 6 or 7 yard runs you'll ever see.
He's probably tired because he ran a lot more than 6 or 7 yards.
Yes, he did.
And put some moves that me and you would have probably torn a ligament on.
I can guarantee you I would have. There is a reason that I take things at a slower pace than that. Snap to Etheridge, throws out to McQuay, makes the catch, makes one man miss, cuts inside the 50-yard line, and that's going to be another All-State 1st down.
Man, there's no way Justice McQuay should have gotten a 1st down there. You got 2 Pirate defenders there on the ball, both broken down to tackle him. He makes a move, makes them both miss, gains another 6 or 7 yards for the 1st down. Really, really athletic play there by Justice McQuay.
He juked my voice out. I couldn't even hardly figure out what I was trying to say. But that's all, folks. 1st and 10. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Oh, the snap goes over Etheridge's head. He picks it up on the run, and now he's just in trouble trying to get away and tackled.
That ball was snapped so far. I mean, that is probably a 25-yard loss there on the snap.
Yeah, it's about a 27-yard loss.
Shoot.
Well, Chris, you know what they say. You take one step forward,
Yeah.
you take 18 steps back.
27 steps back. Here we go. Keep fighting.
Second and 30.
Don't say that very often, and you don't really have a play for said down.
Yeah, you don't really carry that page a lot. McQuay makes a man miss. Now he's got a little bit of space. Cut down by his shoelaces.
Yeah, really good tackle from the safety position. Up came Braden Lafayette. And I think McQuay was going to get a handful more yards there if he doesn't get tripped up over there on the far side. Maybe try to throw one up here to get it down, to get a pass interference, to even if the ball's picked off back there, maybe it's like a punt. You know, I just feel like on a play like this, a lot of teams will just run a draw play and punt, but I like to just throw it up and take a chance.
Pressure coming. Etheridge steps up to avoid it. Cuts back, and now he's got all kinds of Pirates around him, and finally somebody gets him.
Just running for his life there. Did a really nice job of stepping up in the pocket, but by the time he was able to do that, you know, they had really closed in on him. Ultimately, Villegas gets in there and trips him up, putting us in fourth and pretty long.
4th and 37.
Fourth in another county.
Yeah, 4th and 37 is what pretty long equates to right here.
Fourth in a runway. I don't know. I mean, the first down, the down marker for the first down is set up at the 33-yard line on the other side of the field. We're at our own 30.
Stanley gets away.
Really good
nice punt. At the 23, muffed, but he's able to just bounces right back into his hands.
Really good play. Is that Cole Stanley down there making that play?
I think that's Christian Henry.
Christian Henry. Okay, what a great play on punt coverage there. He had a beeline on him. He makes him bobble the kick. Of course, it comes right back to him, but still he's able to tackle him right there at the point of the catch. And so a really, really good punt and a great play back there on Christian Henry.
And, Chris, that's just another example of the way things have gone tonight. Muffed punt, and it bounces right back up into his belly.
Muff punt, we tackle the guy. Most of the time the ball just be sitting there naked waiting for somebody to jump on it, but it bounces right back to him. And luckily we're able to cut him down right there, though. And so we did flip the field there with a great punt.
47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Johnson looking to throw. Now he's going to run to the far sideline. Gardner giving chase. And he throws it away and pays a little bit of a price for it.
Yeah, Andrew Gardner just always pursuing the football. I mean, if it's inside, if it's outside, if it's a quarterback running, man, it doesn't matter. And he ran him down way on the far side of the field. Makes him throw it away. A long run for Cord Johnson. He's got his hands on his hips over there. I would think they'd probably look to run the football here.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a handoff. I'd be looking at the sideline saying, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Don't do that again.
Let somebody else run it right now.
Not interested in that. They might be up against the play clock by the time they get set, too.
Yeah.
They're just breaking the huddle with 7 seconds left. He gets under center. He hadn't done that a lot tonight. He does actually roll out.
Right on his heels there, and the catch is made going out of bounds. About a 3-yard gain there, Chris.
Yeah, we sure thought he would run the ball after what happened there as far as he ran on the play before, but he went ahead and got under center, rolled out, throws it out there. Good tackle out there by Christian Henry to set them up in 3rd and long.
Brings up a 3rd and 8. Pittsburgh goes into the huddle. 29 seconds remaining in the third quarter here.
Another big play for the Cougar defense, looking for a stop here. We got 2 guys over here, and there we go.
Handoff coming up the middle. He's got first down yardage to the 30-yard line.
Man, he runs downhill, I'll tell you, Lane Hall all night long. As soon as he gets ahead of speed, he runs hard. Doak Porter makes the tackle there, but he looks like he's the one paying the price as he limbers off to the near sideline. Must have been a penalty on the play. Yeah.
Yeah, illegal motion.
Good.
What do you know?
Hey, anything we can take right now to slow them down or move the ball in our direction, we'll take. We didn't get a lot of those in the first half, so it's nice to see that as they set up for third and pretty long here.
Yep, 3rd and 12. You got them behind the chains. Really love to see Grace get the Pirates off the field here. Johnson with a hard count now looks to the sideline. They still got plenty of time on the play clock here.
We got Luke Burks here on the near side in coverage. Cole Stanley back at safety.
Luke Burks had a big interception last week. Pressure coming deep down the near sideline. Oh, goodness, got a man. Caught right over the shoulder and running away.
Yeah, I think they spotted that single coverage with a really good, fast receiver there, Cam Dottie. We've mentioned his name a few times tonight on those long passes. That's the 3rd time they've hit us for a really long touchdown, Preston, and they saw the single coverage out there and thought they'd take a chance on 3rd and long, and they hit it.
They did. And Chris, I'll tell you, you could not have handed the ball to the receiver in a better spot.
Yeah.
That pass was just spot on.
Really good throw. Of those 3 touchdowns he's thrown, I bet there's a cumulative probably, Preston, of, 200 yards. Close to 200 yards and 3 touchdown passes.
That one was right at 90 by itself.
Mm. Thank you.
We're getting some food delivery up here from the one and only Coach Francis. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And so it is 38-0 with 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
3rd quarter went by pretty quick. They ran the ball a bunch. The clock was running a bunch. We had a good drive. We got them behind the sticks a couple times, but, man, they've kind of gone to this big play a few times tonight, and they've hit it. And, they've got Cam Dottie. He's got some speed. They've got a quarterback lane, Cord Johnson, that can throw it, and they've done a good job of it.
Chris, I will say I've been very impressed with Cord Johnson tonight.
Yes.
That young man.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've called his name. According to their lineup here, he plays quarterback and linebacker. I don't know that we've called his name once on defense, but, man, has he made his mark on offense.
Yeah, I don't think they need him on defense. He's done everything he needs to do on the offensive side of the ball, and really impressed with his deep ball, the way he's thrown that ball. I'm interested to see his stats after the game tonight, Preston, to see. My gosh, he's thrown for probably 300 yards and 3 long touchdowns, and, been really, really impressive.
Yeah, and I don't think very many of his passes have hit the ground. It's going to be taken at the 4, up to the 15, cuts to the sideline to the 20, and just bottled up there. There's just not much space, Chris.
No, that's Elijah Hicks there, and, like you said, just a bunch of guys there. It looks like he's a little slow to get up as he gets tackled there. But, Preston, a lot of these teams that run the ball real well, they do that, and that's their primary source of moving the ball down the field, and you don't feel that threatened by the quarterback. But the way that this Pittsburgh team has been tonight, you've got to watch for both of them because they run the ball real well, and all of a sudden you're either looking for the run or you're keyed in on the run, and bam, they hit you for a long pass.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how they stack up necessarily against their district, and those guys, they'll be playing some really good teams in their district in 4A on the UIL side, but nonetheless, tonight they've looked really sharp. And, again, that's Elijah Hicks over there on the far side about the 20-yard line, slow to get up after the being tackled by, it looked like 5 or 6 guys from the Pittsburgh side.
Pittsburgh players having to be told to walk away.
Walk away and take a knee. I'm not sure what they were doing so close to our sideline at the moment, especially when we got a guy on the far side shaking up. But nonetheless.
We're going to take a break as they tend to Hicks, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth as Elijah Hicks is making his way off the field under his own power, but he's doing it gingerly.
He is holding his right side as he comes off slowly. A couple trainers there with him.
You know, Chris, these boys have absorbed some big hits tonight. They've spent a lot of time on the field, and I think it's starting to show up right now. They're gassed for one.
They're gassed, and you're right. They've taken some blows. Everybody has, and we got a lot of guys playing both ways, so we've got a lot of guys taking a lot of blows.
Jet sweep to Swain, turns the corner, and as the third quarter expires, he gains about 4 yards.
But you know the thing is, Preston, we got so many of these young guys playing that some of these guys on the Pittsburgh side, as I look at some of their key players or seniors, a lot of these kids that we're playing are freshmen and sophomores, and so that's a big gap, man. That's a big gap in growth. That's a big gap in maturity. That's a big gap in football IQ. Just a lot of things that, man, you give a kid 2 more years to learn and to grow and to develop, and you'll see a much different football player. But, man, they'll be better for it that they're taking these reps so early on in their high school career.
Yeah. You know, Grace is set up very well. You've got your starting quarterback who's a freshman and a very talented player. You've got your starting running back who's a sophomore and a very talented player. And so you're exactly right. You know, that's a big gap because you're talking about a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds playing against 14-year-olds.
15-year-olds. They you know, my youngest is in the 6th grade, and he loves sports, and I'm sure he'll play football. And I told him the other day, I said, Judson, can you believe that you'll be a freshman when guys like Slade are seniors? I mean, and he seems to be a little kid to me right now. Slade's out here taking blows from, I mean, how big is number 75 there at the nose tackle for Pittsburgh? I mean, big kid. And so I think they'll all be better for it as they continue to grow and develop, though.
Yep, absolutely. So here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Getting the clock right over there. Now it's showing 12 minutes.
I don't think Braden's been back in the game since early in the first half. I mean, he's sitting on the bench here at midfield, and
it's be a handoff to McQuay.
Big boy.
He's going to get nothing.
Yeah.
Loses a yard.
Yeah, that's big number 75 there, Tyrell Wilson. Speaking of senior, big D lineman for Pittsburgh.
And when you're that big and you can move that fast.
Yep, you're going to do some damage. And, I mean, that's why we need a guy like Braden in the backfield on a night like tonight, because he's got some size. Justice McQuay's had an incredible night. He's run all over the place. He's shifty. He's strong. He's fast. I've enjoyed watching him play tonight. But to be able to mix it up and have some size back there with B.A., we missed that too.
Snap hits the carpet. Etheridge picks it up and throws. It's incomplete.
He did do a nice job of picking that ball up and continuing to roll out and try to make something out of what looked like it could be a busted play from the beginning with another high snap.
And you know, Chris, I mean, for a freshman, Slade Etheridge is one of the most calm and collected operators I've seen.
Yeah. You wouldn't know it by looking that he was a freshman. You know, his pocket poise, the way he'll duck it and run, the way he looks for contact. I mean, if I showed you him playing all night long and then told you he was a freshman, you'd probably be pretty surprised by that. So I'm excited for the future of Cougar football if he continues to stay healthy and develop and play hard back there.
Gray's going to have to hurry to get this snap off here. Just barely get it off. Short punt. And it takes a Pittsburgh bounce, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure once we touched it, it was a dead ball. Yeah, we touched it, which creates a dead ball situation. Then he tried to touch it, and then we got it. But I'm sure. Well, just when I try to, just when I try to be the official for the night, here we go. I mean, I don't think that's the right call. The Pittsburgh coach is hot. He's halfway out to midfield. with his headset up in the air, yelling at the ref, and I think he's probably got a case, honestly, because it should have been a dead ball. We touched the ball first. That creates a dead ball there no matter what happens after that. And so it should be Pittsburgh's ball. They're going to give it to us. We'll take it, and we'll continue to try to work hard to create some offense here early fourth quarter.
Yeah, unless there's just something I missed, but
you're right, man. Maybe he touched it before we did, but from what I saw, it happened after we touched it, but we'll take it.
1st and 10 from the 45. Etheridge deep over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Looking for Henry.
Yeah, double coverage back there. I think our best shot there was maybe a pass interference call, but the guy, one of the defenders there, made a pretty decent play on the ball and got there about the time the ball did, and so no PI and an incomplete pass there.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Gardner in the game. High snap. Quick screen out to McQuay.
Good blocking out there.
And
he breaks loose, though.
Shoestring tackle.
Yeah, number 18 out there on the corner. Braden Lafayette makes a good tackle because Cole Stanley was doing a good job blocking out there, but he was able to break loose and make that play out there. They've got some decent athletes from Pittsburgh. We've called the same guys' names a handful of times tonight on both sides of the ball. They got a handful of good athletes making good plays.
McQuay in motion out of the backfield. Etheridge looks his way across midfield, and he's going to be close to a first down. I don't think he got it.
I really like that about what I've seen tonight in Justice McQuay. He never quits. His legs are always moving. He's fighting for extra yards, not taking the easy way out. And when your teammates see that, it builds a certain confidence in him. It builds some culture in the squad to fight hard. It looks like he might be a little slow to get up over there. And it's not surprising because he goes hard every single down.
Yeah, he's got no quit.
And I think it's him. I can't.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It looks like they're stretching him out. I think that's what
Good.
I'm seeing.
It's just
over
a
there.
cramp over there. Our trainers are tending to the rest of the guys at midfield. Yeah, there he comes. He's up over there.
So it's going to be about 4th and about half a yard. And, Chris, what did they put in that burger?
I don't know, but it's spicy and it tastes good. It's got a little kick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I like that. It's a Kumo's burger I see on the wrapper. They got a location down there in Flint, and it's a really nice burger. Appreciate that from Coach Francis.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, here we are pulling on our drinks as we eat through it, aren't we?
I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah. All right, 4th down, Cougars. We're in plus territory. We're obviously going for it. 4th and really less than a yard. Braden Alexander is in the game, which is really surprising because I don't think he's been in there since the first quarter, unless I missed something. They're going to direct snap it to him.
Direct snap to BA, and he's got the first down yardage.
I think the last push there. Gosh almighty, I'm not sure we're getting a very we're not getting a great spot.
Not a generous spot.
Boy, the guy on the far side has it marked short, Preston, from where he's standing, and he's the one calling.
Oh, my goodness.
And I feel like at the last second we got a little push that got him to the first down.
What I don't understand is how that guy on this far sideline is the one making the call.
It should not be. He stood there for a long time. And look where they're marking the ball. They marked the ball in a position that would be a first down. The far lineman had the ball at the 46-yard line. Another ref came in and laid the ball inside the 45, which would be enough for a first down.
Oh, now they're going to
now they might call a timeout and measure. He put that ball at a completely different spot than that far line judge.
And now they're not going to measure.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's not where they spotted the ball. That would have been a first down where that ball's spotted right now. They spotted it He called it at the 46. They put it at the 45, which would have been a first down.
I'm just going to eat my burger.
I think we should. Mouthful of food will keep us from saying something we shouldn't.
Oh, man. 8-yard gain there on first down.
I'll give a shout out to some of these guys on the Cougar D line too. They've been playing so hard tonight, oversized, but man, they've been playing with a lot of heart. I see Braden Gregory out there. I'm going to try to get to all of them here in a second.
Shotgun snap to Johnson. He hands it off again up the middle. First down the yardage, running hard.
Oh, fumble.
Ball came out.
I see Gardner in there. I see 65 Matt Gaudier.
Grace football.
Oh, good. Yes, we saw the fumble there, and it looks like Braden Wells is holding the ball there. And indeed, it's Grace's football. As we talk about that defensive line, Braden Wells comes up with a big fumble recovery at the 40-yard line, so we'll take over possession there. Yeah, that's a big play for the defense. You know, no matter the score on the scoreboard, these guys are fighting so hard. I was just mentioning how hard that D-line's playing. Bam, a turnover. And you can build on things like that. Like you can build, they're not quitting. You can build on big plays like that. You turn it around and turn it into something on offense, and it's just a great learning opportunity and a great building block for a young team.
And now let's go put points on the board. High snap to Etheridge. Pressured immediately.
Will Strube and Amari Grant were in there in no time.
He's not even finishing dropping back.
No.
And he's got company. 10-yard loss.
That's probably been one of the hardest things for the offense tonight is second down and 19, third and third. You know, there's just not a whole lot you can do when you get that far behind the sticks early in the possession, and we found ourselves there a handful of times tonight.
Yeah, you don't have many pages in the playbook that address those situations, and we found ourselves there a lot. VA in motion out of the backfield. Etheridge looking his way. Nobody's there. Porter makes the catch across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, good throw. Another long, good throw. Stanley was open. Porter was open. Porter takes a big shot.
Up to the 44. It's going to make it third and manageable. Third and about 6.
You know, Porter takes a big shot but gets up and runs back over to the far side to set up for this third down.
We need midfield. Etheridge back, looking, rolling to the right. Avoids the sack, but not that one.
I mean, he's going to need oxygen after that run. He was all over the field trying to outrun the defensive line. They're just getting such incredible penetration. It just makes it hard for him to get the play set up.
Yeah, he's been spending a lot of time running for his life.
They sent BA in motion there, and he came out here in the flats. I think he wanted to dump it to him, but the corner on this side saw it and picked it up. And so from there, it was kind of busted, and he had to try to make something out of nothing and ultimately was sacked.
Yeah, that was great eyes there by Braden Lafayette for Pittsburg.
He's one of those guys. We've said his name a few times on the defensive side.
Snap to Stanley. He gets away. A nice punt. Taken all the way back at the 15, and he falls down.
Oh, that was a legitimate punt. Let's see. That ball's on the 15-yard line. He kicked it from probably the 25, so we're talking what is that, almost a 50-plus yard punt there?
Yeah.
Really, really good punt. And we got pretty fortunate because it's kind of one of those things where when you have a good punt, you usually get a decent return because, you know, those guys are full speed. They run by the returner. He gets a good return. And he had some room to go, but he slipped just inside the 15, and so pretty fortunate for us there.
And that's a 46-yard net punt from the line of scrimmage.
Awesome.
So the ball was in the air for, you're talking close to 60 yards.
That's
the ball's
great.
In the air.
Really, really good.
So nice job to flip the field there.
Drops back. Oh.
Almost
God.
intercepted.
Yeah, Dylan Stinson was right there to make a play on that ball in the flats, and I think it had just enough on it to where he didn't quite have time to get his hands up and make a play on it because he was there, and he would have walked into the end zone with a pick six,
Yes.
I think.
.6:23 remaining in the ball game, and they're going to the air again. Johnson going deep and overthrows his receiver.
God, he's looking for Cam Dottie again. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look to see if Dottie's been the one that – oh, no, that's not Dottie. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that
number
was,
3.
Dale Jones.
Dale Jones, okay. But, man, we find ourselves in one-on-one coverage a little too often with these guys that have some speed, and they're trying to hit a big play on us again.
This time they go back to the ground and can be dropped right at the 20-yard line, maybe the 21.
Yeah, that was Kayvon Grant. He had a big run in the first half, almost scoring a touchdown. We hadn't seen a ton of him this game, but there he was there on that third down play. But, again, a good stop by the Cougars. And Matt Gaudier, who's gotten up slow a couple times tonight. Again, these guys on the line playing so much and playing so hard, he's going to limp off on fourth down and take a breather for a second.
Swain back deep for the punt.
Oh, this one's going to bounce forward.
Line drive punt. It's going to roll inside the 40 and circle back and die on the 40. So, Chris, it's been a tough night all the way around. But you hope. Let's go make a drive right here. Let's take some positive stuff home with it, and see what we can come up with.
I've been impressed with the way, you get down big in a football game, and sometimes it's easy to just say, let's just take this thing to the end and get the heck out of here. But as evidenced by the big play and the turnover on the last drive when we were on defense, I've been impressed with the way these kids have fought. And then we go down and stop them there and make them punt. I mean, there's been some signs of fight, and I think Coach Russell will recognize that and make that known to his guys, and I'm sure he's glad to see it as we go down here to the last 5 minutes.
Shotgun snap to Etheridge. Looking. Throws far sideline. Jumping catch by Swain. Fumble. And did it go out of bounds? Nope.
I couldn't tell. He fumbled it, and then
I thought it was going to go out of bounds, but the official on the far side signaled Pittsburgh ball.
Okay. There was a bunch of people jumping for it, and I didn't know if one of the players was ours and might cover it, but it looked like it was theirs. But most of the passes that Slade has had time to throw have been really nice balls. I mean, he's thrown some long passes across the field. He's thrown, tried to throw a couple deep balls. But, I mean, overall, when he has time to step back and put a foot into the ground and make a good throw, he throws a really nice ball. He threw a good ball there to Swain, trying to make a move. Can't blame the young Swain for trying to make a move and make something happen. Just got stripped over there. And so here goes our defense scrambling to get set up here inside our own territory with 5:09 to play.
It's going to be a handoff up the middle, gashing through the Cougars defense and taking it to the house.
Yeah, that's the aforementioned Kayvon Grant. He is a head of steam, and when he got through the line of scrimmage there, he was able to just bust it. Looks like he's probably also going to get called for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, Kayvon Grant, Chris, he runs hard.
And he's a big guy and runs fast. I mean, they talk about guys that look like they're running downhill. I mean, he legitimately looks like he's running downhill, kind of one of those guys. I remember when Carl McCullough busted free and hit me. I was a little old boy playing safety back there, and I still see Carl McCullough coming downhill at me going full speed. I still have nightmares at 50 years old about him. That's the kind of running Kayvon Grant's doing out there.
You know, and the clock's never stopped. The clock's still running.
Maybe we have a running clock when it
Going
gets
to a running
certain
clock?
point. I guess so.
I mean, I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm for it. I don't know what the UIL or TAPS rules are or which one takes precedence. I guess ours would be in the home game, but is it 40? I don't know what the number is, honestly, Preston, but
You know, in talking about Kayvon Grant, I would describe it as violent running. He runs violently.
yeah, he's not trying to avoid you.
No. And with that, I'm looking at their lineup, Chris. He's a sophomore.
Dang. And he's a big kid. He's a fast kid, and he's going to be around for a couple more years.
Yeah, he's going to be trouble for some opposition.
Yeah, and he's probably not getting in as many looks tonight, obviously, as Lane Hall is, being their starter and the senior there at the running back position. But, man, when he is in there, Kayvon Grant is a force to be reckoned with.
He's definitely made the most of it. That is for sure.
You know, most of their guys, as I look through this lineup, all these guys that we've called Amari Grant on the defensive side, senior, Cord Johnson, quarterback, senior, Duffy, wide receiver, he's a sophomore, but Lane Hall, senior, Cam Dottie, junior. They just have some upperclassmen over there. It's a 4A school with upperclassmen. And so, I mean, it was going to be a challenge no matter what. And that was kind of one of those runs here at the end of the game where, gosh, after that fumble, it's just sort of one of those things where you're like, dadgum, man. It's been a long night, and you look up, and there goes number 20 busting one.
So the kickoff will take place from the 25 due to the penalty assessed on the kickoff. Taken at the 17 on a line. Here comes Swain across the 30 and gets pinballed across the 40-yard line.
Looks like Andrew Gardner's shaking up.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are in the Hope Church broadcast booth. Gardner was helped off the field, and so hopefully that young man is okay.
There's his dad going to check on him.
Etheridge, deep ball to the near sideline. Porter goes and attacks it. Be about an 7-yard gain on the play.
The band just fired up a song right in the middle of a play there.
As we get an all-state first down there, I thought bands couldn't play during the play.
I have no idea. The second we snap the ball, they fire off
2 plays in a row.
A song. Kayvon Grant getting a little time on defense. We're going to try to go deep here. What are we doing with the band?
Intercepted. Yeah, I was not aware that was
I mean,
okay.
the second that we snap the ball and he drops back to pass, the band is playing a song. I don't think I've ever seen that. Well, the clock's still running. It's about to run down, it looks like. It doesn't look like there will be another play here tonight, Preston.
And the clock has hit zeros. And the final score tonight is Pittsburg 45, Grace 0.
Yeah, tough one. Again, a lot of respect for the young team. They fought till the end, and you like to see that. I hope we got out of there without too many injuries. That Gardner injury near the end, he wasn't putting a lot of pressure on his left leg. But if we get out of there relatively healthy, headed towards next week.
I am looking, Chris. I believe I see Gardner in that line walking under his own power.
Okay, that's good.
So good. Definitely glad to see that.
Yeah.
I believe that's him. It's fixing to make the turn here.
Okay.
Right in front of 52, Chris. I think that's – I'm just waiting to see that other 3. Yeah, that's him. Okay. Good to see that. He's walking under his own power. He wasn't putting, as you mentioned already, he was not putting much pressure on that leg as he was being helped off the field. But
those losses are tough. They're not any fun. But at the same time, you can learn from everything. I mean, that's kind of what this game is about. What do you take away from it? What can you learn that builds you till next week and next month and next year? And that's where Coach Russell's really good. He knows how to take the positives out of a tough loss like this. He's a great leader of young men, and whatever he's saying out there, I have full trust in, and I know they'll be back ready to go next week.
Yes, sir. So, hey, just a tough one from start to finish. That's all you can say. And these are games, as you mentioned, Chris, you can learn from anything. I've learned that in ministry, Chris. I'm a pastor, and I've served in some churches through the years, and there was churches that I learned things that I wanted to do, and there was churches that I learned how I didn't want to do things.
Right.
And so you learn everywhere in every situation.
Yep, agreed. Agree completely. Well, thanks for having me tonight. Again, sorry it was
man, thank you, Chris.
About the score, man. That is a little bit of a curse. I'm going to have to get in here on a game that we win because I had a good time and I appreciate it. So anytime y'all need to go down to the end of the bench and or call the bullpen, whatever it is, just holler at me.
Yes, sir.
Glad to help.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. And again, your final score tonight is Pittsburg 45, Grace 0. And until next time, so long, everybody.